That's our boy.
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Ooh.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We're really glad to have you here for Access Vegas. I'm your special guest host. Yeah, I'm your special guest host today. I'm Mia Khalifa with my co-host Lana Rhodes. Get ready. Don't date older men. We can't get our shit right together, guys. Sorry.
You told every one of these girls to keep their volume
And I did.
down.
I turned it all the way down. I don't understand what's wrong. It's my phone. Thank you, Steve Apple. All right, here we go, guys. From our guest, we're going to go ahead and get to our guest. She is from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's a realtor, a model, and she manages a dental office. It's Christina. How you doing, Christina? You doing good?
I've been well.
I love having normal people on here. Closer to the mic, please.
Normal
I've been
people.
really well.
Good to have normal people. She's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She has a golfing caddy business, and she has the Football Barbie podcast. This is Gemini Barbie. How you doing, Gemini?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Terrific. Awesome. She got that. I heard the Philly in you.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. When I say water, it really comes out.
Water. She's from San Diego, California. She is an atmosphere model, and she knows all the words to every Cardi B song. This is Rita.
Rita like margarita.
There you go. Rita like margarita. That's right. She's from Frog Level, Arkansas, by way of Houston, Texas, by way of Las Vegas, Nevada. She's a Swimsuit USA World Finalist and a world-class bartender. This is Miss Kylie McGahey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Awesome. And she's also a DJ from Newport Beach. It's Alley Cat. What's going on, DJ?
Hey.
Nice to see you. She's from East Los Angeles.
East LA.
You can spell her name anal backwards. That's her name.
Yeah.
She's a comedian. She has a podcast called Laughing with Lana. This is Lana. How you doing, Lana?
Hi.
What's going on? There's a penis on my show.
yes.
We have been demonetized. There you go.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And from Chattanooga, Tennessee, now living in Sarasota. She just travels around the world and she just models. It is Maya. How you doing, Maya?
I'm doing great. How
You were
are
also a Swimsuit USA World Finalist too, right?
I was.
Very
yes,
good.
Miss
Awesome.
Miami Beach.
Nice. All right. So we have everybody here. We have Rolo Tomasi.
Yes,
have you
we do.
have you tweeted anything that's gotten
No,
you?
I did not tweet anything super controversial. Although I did do another list of things that make for a high value woman, because apparently all the trad femme girls are coming out of the woodwork right now, and apparently you have to be, you have to be a pastor, you have to have had 3 children, you have to have divorced your husband, and you have to also be working on OnlyFans or porn right now. So it's
porn.
Apparently those
it's
are
porn
high quality
and,
women right
like
now.
Christianity and porn at the same
Yeah,
time.
it didn't quite hit the same
I
as
love that
it did
combo.
when Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro were retweeting my other one, but it is what it is.
Nice. So
Porn for Jesus.
This whole week has been crazy. So it's funny that you say porn for Jesus. So a couple of weeks ago, we had Courtney Tilla on, and she did an interview where she talked about that she was doing porn and that God had directed her to do porn. Now, let's put a couple things in context. Number one, she said, I am a porn star, but I just filmed with my husband. And number two, she never said anything about God telling her to do porn or anything like that, or being a Christian. So what happened was, all over the news, it says Christian woman claims God told her to be a porn star. It goes incredibly viral. And then it just reminds you once again that the news is just there to entertain you, to trap you, and to manipulate you,
Right.
and has absolutely no bearing in reality whatsoever. So it's just interesting when you say Jesus for porn, and we are canceled. We are absolutely demonetized. We are demonetized. We are demonetized. Did you have realistic any questions?
Sexy Jesus.
No. Well, first I got to start off with we got to do the basics here. So I already know how old you are, but we want, because everybody's going to ask me this anyway, so we might as well go around. I need to get everyone's age and your current occupation. I guess we already went through our current occupation.
We sure did.
And your status, single,
Social
dating,
Relationships,
number.
relationship status.
and and I have to. Oh, sorry, I have to do it this time. I need to know highest level of education for this theme today. So
Perfect.
We're going over demographics. Let's start right here with Miss Kylie McGahey.
I'm 21. I'm dating Michael Sartain.
What?
No. What? Why am I just finding out?
Blasphemy.
And I'm currently still doing school.
My name's Rita. Well, you know that. But I'm 30 years old, and I did 2 years of college.
Okay. Community college?
Yes.
Regular college? University
Community
level?
college.
Community college. Okay.
I'm Gemini. I just turned 33 a week ago, and
Happy
thank you. And I have a master's in public administration and a bachelor's in political science.
From where?
I'm from PA, so I went to Westchester University. So I did 6 years of college.
Nice.
Excellent. Rita, what's your dating status? Your relationship
Oh,
status?
I'm single.
Single. Okay.
And sorry, single as well.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about that.
All right. I think I know what I'm going to expect from you. But go ahead.
All right, so my name is Christina. I'm a realtor. I finished
realtor.
some college. I have a 19-year-old daughter, but I just started seeing somebody.
Yay.
There it
I'm
is.
34.
There you go.
I'll be
All
35
right.
this year, so
All right.
almost
See?
there.
Kat?
Yep, I'm Kat. I am 27, just
Okay.
turned. I'm in a new relationship.
Okay. Does he know about it?
He knows about
Good.
it.
That's important. It's Vegas. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
He knows.
How come he's not on your Instagram yet?
Fuck that.
you.
Are you gonna
That's what
do a
ruins it.
soft launch? Yes, I knew you're gonna. I didn't want to
Soft launch,
jinx it,
soft
so I
launch.
didn't put him on. Yeah. Okay.
And I went to Cal State Fullerton. I also went to Orange County School of the Arts for commercial and instrumental music.
Nice.
Do you have a degree in any of those? Or
I did not graduate at Cal State. I dropped out.
how long did you spend there?
I think it was just at a year.
Okay.
Maybe
Because
2.
I'm trying to establish that we don't have like dumb bitches on this show. Like,
Yeah.
we have very intelligent women on it.
Well, I dropped out of school because I realized I was making more money without a degree.
Yeah. Okay. So pragmatism stepped in.
That's why most of the men have dropped out. Awesome. Lana, what's going on here?
I am 33. I'm in a relationship with my little dick here. And
In the chat, they're like, that's little?
And cancel.
In the chat, they're like, that's little? That's what they're saying in the chat.
That's
Really?
my dick. That's average. Oh God, no, I'm not hating. But I am single. I like being single. I'm 33, and I have gone to school. I went to school for. I did a certification for cardiology tech. So I was a cardiology tech for 9 years in a hospital. But other than that, no, I do comedy. I don't work in the medical field now.
Do you make more
Nice.
money in comedy than you did in the medical field?
No, I actually own a business doing doors and window screens and solar screens. Yeah, I'm like.
So you actually have a trade.
I really have
even
a trade.
better.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I'm a boy at heart for sure. So my dad raised me to be very independent. So I have a business where I do window screens, solar screens, window repair, and sliding glass door repair. So yeah. I
Get it,
make
girl.
more money doing that than the hospital.
There you go. Got that hustle.
Entrepreneur.
Maya, hit
Okay,
us.
so my name's Maya. I'm 21. I'm single. I had 1 semester of college, and I have a certificate in interior design.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Okay, cool.
And single? Single.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is there a reason why you run?
Well, the reason why
I'm
I'm throwing all this out here at the beginning here, I mean, I guess this is like standard. We should probably be doing this all the
No,
time.
one thing I do want to point out. Once again, we have multiple girls with degrees on here,
Right,
Because
right.
the whole thing is it's always they're not realistic. Why don't you bring normal girls on here? And we do, and that again we're trying to establish something. We had Miss Nevada on here previously, like she's a ran through hoe, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
One of these
Like,
days you'll say Nevada the correct way.
Nevada, yeah. Last time we had a girl. She was a lieutenant, went to jump school in the Army. She was like the second woman to ever go through jump school. And like, so on one hand, they're like, these girls are dumb. And now she's an officer in the U.S. Army, but now she's too masculine. And the point is, we were just trying to illustrate they can't win no matter what the fuck they do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're just trying to show like, hey, listen, we're going to bring up hypocrisy to both sides, but that's one of the interesting parts of it. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, so I wanted to start with this because today's theme is are these shows Gen Z dating shows? I failed to see how this is a Gen Z
Hold on.
dating show.
So
but-
let's give a little context for everybody. What he's talking about is whatever podcast, Pearly Things. He's
Fresh
talking
and
about
Fit.
Fresh and Fit. He's talking about
This format.
us, and then there's a couple others that I'm missing. I mean, there's a bunch of smaller ones like No Fugazi, basically where they have a Purple Pill, where they have a guy sitting there and then a panel of girls, and then we get the reaction. These things have become like very, very popular. Several of them get 1 million views per episode. The clips get millions of views. Guys are just making their entire living off these shows. They're really great. But the other thing that's happening that's really interesting, and this happened when we had Stephanie Palomares. She came on Fresh and Fit with us 2 Wednesdays ago. She came on there and they trashed her in the chat, and she had 1,200 new subs the next day on fucking OnlyFans. That was the point. That means she's going to make $144,000 this year from going on there and being abused for 3 hours. And the point I'm trying to make is, men, listen to me. If you want to call them trash, that's fine, but you can't call them trash and then subscribe to their fucking OnlyFans. That's my only point, man. Just like the thing is, it's not just them. You have to hold yourself to a certain level of accountability as men. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So, anyways, there's a an article in the New York Post. Sorry, it's the New York Post, but again, it's the mainstream is actually starting to take notice of shows like this and the other ones that we just mentioned earlier. There, making women look dumb is a disturbing new podcast trend, and so I wanted to read some of this to you guys here for really quickly. Oh, we got a super chat. Yeah. For shame, a podcast with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers across online platforms is stoking the flames of controversy.
And they're talking about whatever, which is whatever podcast is in UCSB, University of Santa Barbara, and it's not controversial at all. Like compared to the rest of them, these guys are super PG. They just let the girls talk the whole time.
Are you guys familiar with any of these podcasts?
You guys have heard of Fresh and Fit?
I've only heard of Fresh and Fit. I don't know the other.
And Pro. I follow both of them.
She has a pre-show that she does that gets a lot of views.
Yeah.
So, see, we're not afraid to mention other podcast names on this show
I don't care
because we're not in that league just yet. So they're stirring the flames of controversy by belittling female guests and making them look dumb. Whatever, hosted by Brian Atlas. We've been on that about 4 weeks ago, actually, beginning of May. Masquerades as a dating talk show while delving into gender roles, body counts, and legitimacy of the patriarchy. Have we ever asked body counts on this show?
No, we never have.
I don't think we have yet. I mean, you're welcome to say.
You're welcome to say it, but we're not going to ask it.
666.
There you go. Go get it, girl. That means you're not a quitter. That's what that means. You're not a quitter. I got to 600. You're like, let's go.
And by the way, that's the girl with the sharpened canines. Just saying.
Yeah. Or sharpened teeth.
By all means.
The podcast team. Excuse me. The podcast team of whatever podcast uses social media to seek women panelists, only to later roast them online in snippets, pandering to the virality of inflammatory hot takes. Yeah. In other words, it's perfect clickbait. Welcome to the internet, New York Post.
Duh.
In one episode, the panelists, who are all women, rate themselves as 10s, much to Atlas's shock.
Oh, I've seen that one. I love that one.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to rate you guys, but none of you are 10s, he says, in response, prompting a chorus of agreements in the comments by users cruelly joking about the women's weight and appearances. Yeah. So wait, let's stop right there. Let's go around the table and say, what would you guys rate yourselves on a 1 to 10 scale? Yourselves.
You want me to go first?
Before we do that, I got to establish this as well. Okay, so have we hand selected you guys to be on this show? Have you guys heard about this show? You know who this man is. You know who this man is, right?
I actually picked Teresa because I knew she had an advanced degree. I'm not picking people. I wanted Kat because Kat is a musician. She's an artist. That's the reason why I wanted. Yes, we have models on here too, but the thing is, I'm trying to disprove what the fuck they're saying. Good. Here's another thing. No one have me on your fucking show. No one's gonna make me look stupid. If you want me to come on your show, the thing is, if I make myself look stupid, that's fine. I say something wrong, that's on me. But you're not going to make me look fucking stupid. So that's the thing that really pisses me off is when people are like, I came on your show and I just didn't know anything and it just made me look stupid. And I'm like, I don't understand why you're mad at me because that happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the only thing.
I get it.
Anybody, have me on your show. Try to make me look stupid. Go ahead. Do you want to do this now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do the quick, just around the horn here.
We'll start with my perfect 10 girlfriend, Kylie. What do you rate yourself?
So cute. Like a 7.5.
She says she's a 7.5. Okay. Rita?
I think I'm a 9.
Rita's a 9. Okay. Rita's a 9. Go ahead.
Maybe an 8. I think you're maybe only ever a 10 in someone else's eyes.
Right.
I always feel like there's room for improvement.
Realism.
No one's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Every single girl on whatever podcast would say they're a 10.
It just depends on a good day because as being a woman, it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
But I'll tell you right now, if we went to
more maintenance.
If we went to East LA, you're not a 6. You're an 8, 9. Don't worry about it. You're good.
You have to,
I don't know. It's different in Vegas, but like,
put in the regional factor.
I agree on that one.
If we're in Topeka, girl, you are not a 6. You're doing good.
I think I could be 10 where I'm from.
There you go. In Philly?
Yeah, I think I'm a 10 where I'm from.
In Philly? In Philly, you're a 12. In Philly.
You're regional 10 in Philly.
She's got teeth. She's a 12. All right, let's go, Kat.
I think your energy has a lot to do with it.
Kat's an 8. Go ahead.
I think I'd be an 8.
Okay.
I think it depends on the day.
Okay.
When you're asking anybody, I think it depends on the day. So right now, I feel like a 10.
Okay.
There it is.
Good.
Good for you.
Kat, I'll tell you this. If you were around goth people, do you think that it would be different as far as your rating would be? So you think it's contextual?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So some of those things, some of it is contextual. Now, I will tell you this, guys. It's not all contextual. So one of the beliefs is that beauty is subjective, right? That's what we always say. Well, somebody likes this.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
So here's the thing. It is subjective when we come to things like maybe hair color or the size of a girl's butt or something like that. But it's not subjective when it comes to facial symmetry, signs of youth, hip to waist ratio, because they've done studies where they do multiple cultures and they control for things like environment and culture. So what's left is hereditary. And amongst all these different cultures, men find a certain hip to waist ratio. In all these cultures, the same.
Fertility and youth.
Fertility and youth. And women find men who are like a little bit taller than them to be more important. Women tend to find body count to be less important. Men tend to find body count to be more important. Things like this amongst all these cultures. There were no exceptions in all 37 cultures. So what we found is that beauty is not completely subjective, it's partially objective. And like, again, when you have a beauty competition, you can kind of tell the girls that are going to win, that do very well. Generally, men tend to agree on who those women are. If I went to a bunch of dudes and I was like, hey guys, Selma Hayek and Dust Till Dawn, who thinks she's hot? Every one of the dudes would say she's hot. Everyone, it was like in agreement.
I say she's hot.
So it's a little bit less subjective.
I rub my face in her titties.
It's a little bit less subjective than people think.
Right.
All right. Anyway, so that's the whole thing with that. Anyway, did you want to follow up with something?
No, okay, we went around the horn. Now, okay, so you're 21. You're 21. Now we have a little bit older, more, let's say, seasoned women.
I'm
at the
old
end
as
here.
fuck.
Okay.
No, you could call me old.
Do you think that you're?
Hey, I don't consider myself old.
I think I'm older
My
than
knees
everybody.
call me old.
But do you think that your estimate of yourself and like your sexual market value, really that's what it is you're estimating your sexual market value. Like you said a 6, right?
Yes.
And you're 33.
I'm
Would you
34.
have 44? Would you have said something different?
34.
Would you have said something different when you were 24?
No.
No?
No, I would have rated myself maybe a 2 or 3 because being older, I feel like I am in the best shape, the best mind,
That's hot.
and it's just personal growth. So you age with fine wine, like fine wine.
Okay, go ahead.
That's exactly what I say.
Uh-huh.
That's my life saying. I like to be like fine wine, get better with age.
Yes.
Because when I was probably 23, I probably honestly thought I looked hot. But then 5 years later, I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't know what I was thinking.
Do you honestly think you're in better shape and you're higher value at 33?
She's in better shape.
Yeah.
That's not better because she's a competitor now.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, yeah.
but she's in better shape. But like, the difference is, you understand, some man, it's not like the fact that you have an additional master's degree, have a really nice job, and are well traveled. Those things are not as important as you just being young.
Do I think that being young is important?
No, to some men. I'm telling you that some men see it that way.
I'm sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if you try to guess my age, like, good luck. You know what I mean? I try to take care of myself. So I think, honestly, it's about, 1, your level of maturity, and 2, how old do you actually look? Because, I mean, they're both 21, but I wouldn't be able to guess whether they're 21 or 29. You know what I mean? Like, they could be younger, older. It just depends on how well you take care of yourself.
Rita, what do you think?
I feel like I've gotten better looking with age. Like when I was younger, like I was maybe like attractive, but I feel like now that I know more about the world and I've traveled and I've done things that make me happy, like I feel like I look better because I'm actually being myself.
Facts.
You guys all realize that your sexual market value decays with time, correct?
I'm not trying to have kids, so
I don't
Okay.
think that's true. I feel like I think I get better.
that shit.
Well, you're a fitness competitor.
So
though, right?
here's the thing.
I don't think people know that.
Go ahead. Teresa, here's the thing. What we're saying, though, so here's the thing where there's kind of a difference. For a man, the things that make him sexually attractive and the achievements in his life are actually the same thing. So him getting the $40 million contract to start as a quarterback, that makes him attractive to society. It's an accomplishment, and it makes him attractive to women. The fact that he's big and strong and tall and has a deep voice, that makes him attractive to society and makes him attractive to women. For women, they're two different things. A woman who cures cancer doesn't make her husband's penis harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see, but it's different. So for men, the things that give us personal self-worth are the same things as the thing that increase our sexual market value. That can also happen to us when we get older. For women, it's not the same. For women, the things that make men physiologically attracted to you are different than the fact that you're world-traveled, a good leader, a really good speaker, have a master's degree, and know more stuff. It's very different. Does that, do you see what I'm saying?
Smart men.
I mean, I definitely.
Smart men like that shit.
What do you mean, Lena?
Smart men, like there's a lot of men out there that really don't like the intellectual women are more attractive than what the fuck you look like.
I think if it's an intellectual woman that you can have a conversation with and she brings you peace, then yes.
Yeah.
But if it's an intellectual woman whose intent is just to compete with you the entire time, then the answer would be no. That doesn't make you
like
more
the
attractive.
the guy that owns Facebook. His girl
Mark
ain't
Zuckerberg.
pretty.
Zuckerberg.
Right.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about Zuck later on. Oh yeah.
Girl's not pretty.
Right.
She's not very, very attractive, but he's one of the richest men in the world.
Well,
the dude that
That's
owns
because he
Telecom,
imported
his
her from
wife is
Southeast
ugly.
Asia.
His wife
Let's call him all out.
is no. She went to college with him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But she was she's a Chinese plant.
So exactly, she's ugly, but she got one of the richest men in the world. So you can't really say that.
But like,
Yeah,
why does
I
it
don't-
matter
I don't-
what a fucking man values that you at. Like, if you value yourself, what does it matter?
So it would matter if you want to date a man, right? Does that make sense? It's like if I go, it doesn't matter what my bank account says. I should just have that Bugatti
to be
until
fair,
you go to the lot and try to get the Bugatti, and then they're like, wait a second, you don't have enough money in your account objectively. So when you say it doesn't matter what a man thinks, you're correct until you want a man. Then it does matter. You see what I'm saying? Because a relationship is two people.
I guess I don't want a man. So.
There you go.
No, that's a boy.
A relationship
Man
goes
is
I don't
different.
think I don't want a relationship.
A man.
Go ahead.
A man is the type of guy that understands that women do
Values
get
you.
older.
For
And
sure.
There's
There's nothing wrong with women getting older.
You want to
That's a
grow
fucking
older
man.
with somebody. A boy is the type of guy that's like, no, I need the big tits. I need the fucking
she has
makeup.
to be
I need her to be
She
fucking
has to be
perfect.
the
I need her to
Can I
look
be
like
a man and want
perfect hourglass
both?
figure.
Oh, okay. So and also
You can have both. No, I'm not saying it's not realistic. You can have both.
hold on. So can I also be a man and recognize all the value you have and then still want someone younger?
Of course.
Right, but so that's the problem, right? That's the reason why I bought the car I bought instead of another car is because the car I bought was better.
Yeah, but
Why
just
didn't you
like,
buy it for yourself?
Just like you buy a car that's nice, a car doesn't talk to you. Neither does a younger woman. A younger woman doesn't really talk.
I know one that talks to me.
I know one that does.
No, I know one that
The
does.
trick is getting her to shut up.
No.
That's my point.
No,
If you want an actual
that's not a trick.
woman-
Stop saying that. She has a knife. She has a knife. She has a knife.
She is
She's
very-
amazing. She talks
is
to me.
very-
I'm giving y'all a minute. I'm giving y'all a minute. I talk a lot.
No, she's
Like-
very. Yeah, I was. That's a good. Because we were at Roll and Smoke the other day, and he's talking about F-16s this and B-52 that, and God knows whatever else planes he's flown and maybe not flown, and you know all this stuff because you listen to this stuff all the time, and I'm like, damn. And you probably could carry on a conversation like you probably. Well, maybe not as well as he could, but like you've been around enough to, to pick up something on what he's about and his background, his history, right?
Yeah.
Do you learn things from this guy?
Yeah, I say it all the time. Like I'm obviously I'm dating Michael, but I like older men. Like even if I wasn't dating Michael, I'd still be dating someone around the same age because, and it's not even just people I'm dating. Like my friends are generally like way older than me too. Like for many years it's been this way. Like 10 years, 5 to 10 even plus years older than me. Those are my best friends, good friends. And it's because like they know more than me. They've been through more life experiences and I learned so much from them just being around them. But you know what, like they can come back and say that they learned from me too. So, I don't really think.
It's a give and take.
Do you get, because I know you guys go through this, I know for a fact you guys go through this dynamic, but I have people, especially like women who are sort of like anti-red pill or they're very anti like whatever it is what we're doing. And then they'll like, and I know you guys do this on purpose, like he says, hey, I'm 45 years old, and then suddenly you go, yeah, I'm 21. And like,
make jokes
and then
about it.
it's funny, and I like how you guys do this because you'll say that, and I know
pisses
it's
people
planned.
off.
Well, it does, but you let them discover it. You don't go
Yeah.
and put it in their face. So, and then you say, oh, I'm 21, he's 45. And then somebody like the host or somebody in the audience or somebody in the chat will go, oh my God, like they're shocked about it or something like that.
My favorite is when I tell stories about a girl I went on a date with in 1996, and she's like, "That bitch! I can't believe that shit! I can't believe you went on a date with that! I can't believe you doing a date with that bitch!" I'm like, "Babe, you weren't born for 5 more years. Why are you cheating on me with that bitch?" And I'm like, "It was 1998. There's no way you could say
swimming in the balls yet.
Ridiculous." I was talking about a girlfriend I had once in like 2002, and she's like, "I can't believe you were 9 months old. What the fuck?"
Well, I was, and this is like a common thing that I've had a question I've always had to feel, because like women in particular will say, "What you have is just wait, hold on, let me throw that on there. I got it. There it is."
That's nasty.
It is nasty.
It's nasty, right? But they'll say that you like he's robbing the cradle, right? Or what the most common one that they say is like, "What are you guys going to talk about?" Like, do you guys have some sort of like intellectual conversation? Like you're just like walking around just drooling, not knowing what the hell to say.
I think from like both of our standpoints, like I get way more hate on it than he does. Like to him, for a guy to be dating like a woman, it's like, "Oh, you're
don't they call you a whore?
Praise you, you're awesome." But then, for me, it's like, "Oh, you have daddy issues. Or what's wrong with you? What kind of trauma have you been there?" And I'm like,
"That's fucked up.
Nothing. Men my age suck." I'm sorry.
So that was my next question.
Oh, we joke about this all the time. Okay. She's like, she looks at pictures of me when I was her age, and she's like, "Oh God, you were cute. I would have dated you." And I'm like, "No, the fuck you wouldn't. There is no way you would have dated me. You wouldn't have pissed on me if I was on fire. Please, I'm on fire. Please, just piss on me so I cannot be on fire anymore." She would not have peed on me. I'm telling you.
I hate seeing this stupid meme. It's and it's guys that do this. Like, not women do this, but it's the meme that says, "I wish I could have met you earlier, so I could have loved you longer." And it's like,
no.
She was in the foam cannon party in Cancun when she was younger. She wouldn't have anything to do with you back then.
Those foam parties are great, though. I want to come. Foam parties?
Not unless if you eat that foam, it's not good. That foam is horrible.
I went to a foam party and I got a rash.
Michael.
Oh, really?
I got a bad rash.
Why the hell are you eating the foam?
It's accident. Just goes in your mouth.
This guy, I think it was in November or December. He's like sending me pictures of the foam cannon party. Just
there's a foam cannon party.
I always fill that one out. Now, ladies who are so in your 30s, okay, would you consider dating a younger man, or do you look for guys who are older than you? And then I got another question for the
we didn't ask her what she thought about this either. She's 21 also.
At this point, I don't even know what to answer.
We've
been around.
Would you date? Are you into older guys or youngish guys?
Older.
Mm-hmm. Older guys.
Older. So I'm 21. Most of the guys my age don't really have much experience with life. They're more focused on partying. A lot of them are in college. And I also want to be with somebody who I feel like I'm very much so into more masculine guys. And I want to be with somebody who feels more like a man to me than a boy still trying to figure it out.
What's a man to you, in a sense?
Somebody who has their own sense of himself.
They're shit
21,
together.
You're still figuring it out.
45, they're still figuring it out, girl. Dang. That's like fucking real here. They're still fucking children.
I think it depends.
Do you have an age limit?
We're making this up as we go along.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
we really are.
Do you only have a certain age you'll go up from your age, or do you care? Or
I don't want to go too far off.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, let's throw the next question out here. Al Pacino just knocked up his 29-year-old girlfriend, and he is
83. No, he's 83.
83. 82.
82?
Yeah, brother.
82. So, is 82 too old for you?
For the 29-year-old.
Technically, you can get like a girl pregnant even when you're 90.
No. That's what we're asking from a cultural standpoint.
Would you
is it
how
haram?
old is too old? Yes.
I don't know, because I loved it. I loved it for Anna Nicole. So.
And Nicole Smith?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
She won that man for his money, though.
I'm so confused. Anna Nicole, like
you
must.
This was doing it for the money. She was like, "Oh no, this is our love child." I love it for her.
Like, bro.
The thing is, here's what I think.
You know what she's doing it for? I support it.
Here's the thing. I think if it was someone else, people would think it's creepy. But because Al Pacino has, this is something we talk about in my program, because Al Pacino has so much status, it's okay. Like if Derek Jeter or was in his 80s, or what's his face, Frank Sinatra. If Frank Sinatra had a baby with a woman in his 80s, no one would complain.
Well, but Mick Jagger fathered a child at 74.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, our good friend Dr. David Buss is a father at 70 years old as well. So let's.
I think like the first thing I think of is this when it's like that old, like the man is this old. I think that what comes to my mind is this poor woman is about to have to raise this kid by herself.
Solo. That's
the only issue. That's the only thing.
Yes, after she inherits $47 million.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're still like, well, now even if it doesn't matter the money you have, you have to have a manly figure in the house.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Child can grow up with.
I'm saying it's a trade-off. I'm saying it's a trade-off.
I'm saying it's.
I said it's haram. For those of you who don't have headphones on,
you don't have the headphones on.
It's a business deal.
I mean, she has all this money now. She can find a young guy.
Bro, she can hire a nanny to take care of the baby.
Cat with a solution. See, that's what I say. Women don't come up with solutions.
I mean, with all these podcasts like this one and Pearl and all of them, everyone always says that it's all about status. If a man has status, he can date as young as he wants, and it's okay.
That is true.
And so if a guy has status, money, and he's old as shit, but his dick still work, fuck it.
It seems like you're just you're coming from the point of being a realist. That's correct. Yeah. I think what we're asking is, though, from a moral standpoint, is there? So you see, like with Mia,
I wouldn't call it a moral standpoint, but continue that.
Like Mia Khalifa and Lana Rhoades saying that older men should not date younger women because they have some kind of mental disorder. But the problem is, when Mia Khalifa and Lana Rhoades were younger, they were filming pornography and they weren't interested in being committed relationships, or at least I don't know that they were. So the problem, what we're saying is, when they were at their peak value, and when we say peak value, we're just going to use an objective term. When you would get the most right swipes on a dating app, and we know this because we can look at eHarmony, Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. They give out their data. It is between the ages of 23 and 25. When we look for men, it is between the ages of 38 and 43, I believe, somewhere around there. Yep. So for men, we take longer to bake. So when we go on the yacht in Monaco, the girl got up on the yacht because she was pretty, and we got up on the yacht because we made $10 million. Yeah. For us to get on the yacht was a lot harder than for you guys to get on the yacht, no offense. And when we're on the yacht, when we get there, all of a sudden, we aren't interested in being in a relationship either sometimes. And then when we are, then we're chastised by Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey and people like that. When are these guys going to level up? When are these guys going to man up and settle down? But
when are they going to mature?
But time out. When you guys were 23 and you were getting on the yacht, you didn't want to settle down. But now that we're 45 and we own the yacht, now we're supposed to settle down. And that seems a little bit hypocritical.
No, I really think that because when you know how they say that women mature a little faster and men mature a little slower?
They do. So on average, it's about 1 to 2. It's about 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Women mature faster, men mature slower. So it's like at an even medium when you actually do date older. Like if a woman dates a little older, that like it's like your maturity level is like kind of
this was the point I was gonna make, is that on some level of consciousness, women understand that a man doesn't become a man until he's 30. Okay, like
I wouldn't even put it at 30.
Well, let's. I'm rounding it off. But the reason for that is because there's and maybe this speaks to younger women wanting to get with older guys, because on average women want to get with a guy who is anywhere between 3 to 7 years older than they are.
Yeah.
Going backwards for a guy who is younger is, if he's hot, they'll maybe take a chance on that guy. Yeah. But primarily, it's in women's best interests to get with a guy who can be like a turnkey relationship. He has to be able to already have something established for himself. And even if a guy is just older, just the appearance of him being older, and he takes care of himself, he has some status to him, there's this expectation that that guy's older, so he's already further along in his life's journey or his life's path, and he would be a good choice for a long term.
So here's my thing, though. So normally in a perfect world, I am like 33. I would rather date a man in his late 30s to early 40s. However, like Michael was saying, those type of people either are so focused into their work because they are established, they don't want a relationship, or they just don't want to settle down at that time. So it's kind of like, okay, so I've dated guys who are younger than me, but sometimes it just ends absolutely horribly because they're no innocence mature. They don't have their shit together. I have to start being like, do you have a car, a license, a place where you live? Like, it has to start getting
do I need to drop you off at the shelter? Exactly. Do I have to drop you off at the shelter? Are you okay?
I dated some dude that traded somebody weed. He traded weed for the place in his apartment and didn't even tell me. It's just, I've had so much nonsense from people younger. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, you tell me you're renting an apartment and here you're trading weed for your couch.
Well, I mean, primarily women in the long term need long-term security. And that, by the way, that's not just money. That can be emotional security. That can be, there's other forms of security. So it's not just about the money. It could be about the status. It could be about the fact that he's got drive. So when women are asked, like, what do you look for in a guy? It's usually what they are attracted to in the long term. So does he love his mom? Does he like puppy dogs? Is he going to take me to Disneyland? Does he have a job? Is he funny? Is he intelligent? Does he have a college degree? Does he like this laundry list of all these things? Yeah, the perfect guy. And he's got to feed me ice cream in bed and
Ooh,
love me
kinky.
unconditionally. That kind of that whole the laundry list goes on and on and on. But the priorities of what's on that list change as a woman gets older and what she's able to consolidate on in the long term. But that guy who has all that, or even like a margin of that laundry list of prerequisites, that guy's always older because it takes him longer to get those things that makes him maximally attractive.
True.
I do think that with one thing, though, that's a big thing, at least on my list, and for anybody it should be, is you have to kind of have the same path in life. You need to be going in the same direction. Like, somebody can't want to be an actor in LA, and you're like, I refuse to move, and I'm not trying to do long distance relationship. Just like anything. Like, if somebody's like, doesn't want kids and you want kids, well, guess what? You're probably not really going to work out. You need to really figure out these certain key topics, like, where do you want to live? Do you want to have kids? What is your political view? Because I don't know about you, and being maybe of slightly more intelligence, I can't date somebody of the complete opposite. Like, if you have a little bit, it's one thing, but if we completely battle back and forth, we're never going to work.
Yeah, you have to be complements to one another.
Exactly.
Compliments.
So
you have to bring value.
Yeah, I just think you have to be on the same path, and you have to have some of the main core concepts. To
I'm
go
glad
down.
you brought that up because every goddamn person who's like a critic of this show or me or you or anyone else on this side of things says, oh, you guys never talk about relationships. You guys never talk about being I've said so many times and in so many of my books, like we are better together than we are apart. That's the problem. The problem is women feel like they have to make the bag. They can't trust men. The guy's got to be older, but as soon as you get older, they're not interested in you because they're looking for something that's younger. And women become the men that they want to marry. That's the problem because rather than being I
Teresa,
sympathize with
you have your own business and a football podcast.
Yeah.
Do you hear what he's saying?
I honestly feel like
you are the motherfucker.
You are the motherfucker you wanted to marry. Like you're saying.
I mean, it's funny that you say that because I've always said that if I don't get married by the time I'm 40, I'm just going to buy myself my own ring, which is funny because I seen this on the news the other day. It literally was something. And I was like, oh my God, that's so me. Because I just feel like I have my own table, and what does somebody else bring to my table? Like
Exactly.
If I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I want to be like a power couple status. Like, we need to better each other and push each other to make more money together. But I'm not going to be with somebody who's like a low life, chilling on the couch and playing video games all day. Why there's more important things to be done.
Does that guy, because we're going to, one of the questions I have on my list here today is like, should guys have actual standards themselves? But in more to your point here is like, if you met a guy who's not as paid as you, is still on his come up, maybe he's a little bit older than you, but I don't know how much you're worth or anything. What you do as far as your ambition and what you do as a professional woman. But if you found a guy who's not quite as professional as you, would you take a chance in his
1,000%.
his prospects?
So, like I said, I would. I mean,
Potential.
I see people's potential. I mean, there's a lot of rich guys that women started with, like Jeff Bezos from Amazon, stuff like that.
And look at her; she's only got $43 billion. It's fucking horrible. How'd she make out with that?
The most important thing if you date somebody that has potential is they have to have a drive. If they don't have a drive to constantly want to better themselves and push themselves, because I've dated somebody who's younger than me. Now, we're on better paths now than we were then because I feel like their level of maturity has increased, but they're motivating. So it's like somebody who's constantly on the go and is a go-getter and is, has a drive, pushes me to want to have a further drive. So I think that's more important.
I love it. All right, so here's a couple things. No, I love that point that you made before, and you have a podcast too, which is like the idea that we're doing this thing, and then men are falling short, because both things are true, right? We have a situation with women who they have delusional beliefs about what they're going to get later on in life. The thing I posted today, where there was a girl and there was a lady, she's a sweet lady. She was a makeup artist. She had an IMDb page, and in her mind, the fact that it didn't make any difference that she was fairly overweight. The fact of the matter was she was a 10 in her mind. And my point was, I didn't say she wasn't a 10. In fact, Kylie called her a 10. What I said instead was, as men, we can't do that. We can't call ourselves a 10. when we go up to try to do a job, like again, if I go to try to play for the Golden Knights, I'm like, hey, I feel like because of my personal self-worth, because of my self-esteem, you're going to make me the fucking goalie tonight. Security would throw me out on my ass. If I go to a car dealership and I was like, hey, man, that Bugatti or that Ferrari, that's leaving with me. I'd like to take that. Well, but, sir, you don't have enough money in your account. But it feels like I do. I feel like I have good energy and my chakras are open and I'm a Gemini. And because of
Put me in, coach.
And because of these things,
the stars are aligning.
because I have great energy and my number signs have lined up, I should be able to take. I'm going to manifest that Ferrari. They're going to be like, excuse me, sir, the police are on their way. Yeah. That's what happens next. Do you understand? As men, every day, you like just think about deadlifting. Every day for us as men, we're deadlifting those no's that we get every single fucking day. And sometimes as women,
from what though?
From the
rejection in general.
Women who don't want to date us, jobs that we can't get,
Okay, I got you.
Athleticism we don't have, dreams we couldn't accomplish, popularity, a social status, and social media influence that we don't have, money we don't have. We're constantly being told no for these things. Now, I'm not saying women don't have to deal with these things.
I feel like women have no's too.
They do too, but there is a certain point for women where they're being told yes. When I first moved here and I tried to go on, Teresa, when I first moved here and I tried to go on stage at XS, what do you think happened to me when took my brown ass up to excuse me, sir, no, you need a fucking wristband.
What are you doing?
It only took me 10 years making friends with every single executive at the fucking Win, having a podcast. Now I can go up there some of the time. Like that's what happens. That's what happens. Teresa, if we went to try to go up on stage at XS, how much trouble would you have?
No.
What, for me or for you?
Yeah, for you.
I mean, probably I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think I could get you in.
Excess is not normally my vibe, but when I do go to the club, I'm the one that always likes to dance on the stage.
Okay.
So like when they bring all the
Kat, if we're trying to go on stage, Kat, if we're trying to go on stage over at Zook, how much trouble are you going to have?
No trouble.
No trouble. And if you have a bunch of dudes with you, are you going to have trouble getting them up?
Them, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So do you guys understand the point? There is a point to where the world is not telling you guys no the way the world is telling me no. Yeah. When I graduated from college, I was the big shit because I was a senior in college. And then I graduated and went into the workforce, and I wasn't shit. But you want to know what happened to all
everybody, though.
You know what happened to my 22-year-old female friends? They were doing great. They were awesome. They were doing just fine.
Welcome to the world.
If you're going to talk about that, though, then you have to talk about the sense of how men are still paid more than females. Because that's not fair in a sense, too. I get that we obviously...
let her finish.
I get that we obviously get some more yeses in certain aspects in life than men possibly ever could.
Okay.
But men do still get paid. Let's even at the same job, the glass ceiling.
So let's talk about this. Does anybody else have an issue with this, or do you all agree that with the pay wage gap? Anybody disagree with that, or anybody just don't have an opinion? You just don't know? Because we're going to talk about it.
It depends on the field that you're in. I think we were going to say what she was saying. We would have to say that men get told no on certain things, and then women get told no on certain things too. I don't really think the pay, but just what they were saying earlier about when women get older, it's harder for them. Okay, well, there's our no. Like when and he's saying, "Oh, I'm young. I'm a young guy, and I don't have my shit together, so I'm being told no." Okay, great. Well, now let's reverse it. Like girls are being told no. Our no
seems fair to me.
Older and like whatever. So, like,
seems fair to me.
That would be the equilibrium.
Teresa,
of
men
it.
must become women just are.
Teresa, when you control for years of service and occupation, the pay wage gap still does exist, but it's nowhere near what you think it is.
No,
it's nowhere near. So, for instance, there was this article that came out about Uber drivers who were men and Uber drivers that were women, and men getting paid more per hour. And the thing is, this is absurdity because it's a fucking app and it doesn't pay you more because you're a man or a woman. But the reason why was because men have 17 times as much testosterone as women, and it makes them faster drivers. And that is the reason why men were getting paid more per hour than women were being Uber drivers. Yes, that is the reason why. It is generally 95% of psychologists under the age of 30 are women.
Female.
Engineers tend to be by men. Now compare the average, like just say nurse or elementary school teacher, which by the way, there are almost no male elementary school teachers at all. There compare all these female elementary school teachers and people who go into nursing versus people who go into engineering and places like that. These jobs just pay more. and that's one of the reasons why there's a quote unquote wage gap. But
any wage gap that still exists is not because of endemic sexism. Put it that way.
There's no way to get, like, do you understand? If you and I, for instance, if you were an engineer here and you could prove that Chase and Austin and George made more money than you would have a lawsuit. It would take 0.2 of a second to have a lawsuit. There would be no problem if you could prove that you were being paid a different wage based on how much money you make. Now, when we get to things like soccer and professional basketball, you understand why WNBA players don't make the same amount as NBA players, right?
They probably also don't bring as much people.
Because they're boring.
Go ahead, Lana.
I'm like, it's just automatic. Like when you watch sports, even me as a female, I would rather watch men play sports than women. So merchandise and sponsorships and all that bullshit, they get paid more because we actually watch them.
It's a completely different game. Men's soccer and women's soccer are completely different games because you're playing because you're
playing with titties.
Yeah, exactly. There are physical differences, but the fact of the matter is that because we want to think of men and women as blank slates and that we're doing equal pay for the equal job, you're not doing an equal job. So the joke I always say is like when you see like Megan Rapinoe like complaining about the Olympic soccer team, female soccer team, not getting the same amount of pay as the male soccer team, or or a WNBA versus the NBA kind of thing. They're not playing the same game, and they're not to the same performance level and the same draw as the other.
There's an exception. Like female tennis, they actually draw more sometimes than men, and they make more money. And but let me tell you something. If female MMA fighters were just so awesome, and I could watch it and it was awesome, and they made more money, men would not complain that female MMA fighters made more money than men. No man would complain about that. That's not the issue. And also in the NBA, nobody in the NBA is like, man, we got to do something to make sure women don't go try to play for the Lakers. Nobody's doing that. We're not forcing protections on that. Now, what happens then later when we have people who were born as men go try to play in the WNBA, and they will try. They will try often. They will try a lot. Coming up here real soon, that thing is going to happen. And by the way, I disagree with you. I actually, this is where it gets kind of crazy. I love basketball more than anything. I watch sometimes WNBA games. They're nowhere near as good as men's games. You're right. But if I met Candace Parker, she would probably beat my ass at basketball. She's 6'6".
But she's a professional.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they're not bad.
But LeBron against her.
Of course, LeBron would tear. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people are like, WNBA is trash compared to the NBA. Yes, it is trash, but it's not. It's actually better than pickup basketball. It actually is pretty good basketball. The problem is they're not as good. They're not as good as men, and so the draw. And it's not like they're 50% as good, so they should make 50% as much. They're 50% as good or 10% as good, and they can't make anywhere near as much because all of the traffic goes to the NBA, which, by the way, the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, and the WNBA loses $10 million a year. I'm just curious. DJs is a different thing because, on the turntables, it's not necessarily your gender, but do you feel that there's a gap, or do you feel like the whole thing has to do with popularity?
I think it depends on the club, but there's definitely, especially in Vegas, there's a significant amount of male headliners. Mm-hmm. There are very few females. So. Do
you think, though, when you saw, Paris Hilton or other playmates come on and try to become DJs, because you've seen it before, it probably annoys the shit out of you because you probably put in a lot of work and they don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you ever see that where they use their physical attractiveness as a leg up to get into the industry?
I think that's more celebrity status than physical attractiveness.
Okay.
Because I've seen guys do it too.
Sure.
I saw a guy. He paid $25 grand.
Don't say anything bad about Shaq. Shaq is awesome.
Shaq is an idiot. Get away from Brittany now. Get away from Brittany Renner. Just don't do it.
Shaq is Shaq plays more dubstep.
He be killing that shit.
He's a great person to be around.
Hold on, for those of you who don't know, because you think that Shaq is bad. Shaq plays more dubstep and trap than any DJ in Vegas. He's fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Then he comes into the crowd and he starts a mosh pit and he weighs 340 pounds. It is fucking. Shaq is fucking awesome.
Shaq, super entrepreneur.
Get out, Shaq.
Okay, so wait, Shaquille O'Neal is talking to Brittany Renner?
There is shots of them together now. I guess they're supposed to be dating. They're hanging out quite a bit.
She did her shit. Congratulations.
I don't know. Okay, once again, this is what people send me and DM me, so take it with a grain of salt. But people say, Shaq, you need to go get him your book. I'm like I know Shaquille O'Neal. Come on.
I know Kenny Smith. I'll try to give him your book. So I'm curious about, do you guys think, Brittany Renner, she has those videos. She's like, "Oh, my vagina hurts because I fucked 3 guys today and without a condom." And
I don't know that.
I don't know that.
Oh, you haven't seen those? You haven't seen those videos?
We don't know who she
Oh, there's a ton. So she was so Brittany Renner is this? She's a female.
Thank God you don't know.
She's a
who she
female
is.
college athlete, and
right, then.
she went and basically wrote a book explaining on how to like exploit rich men in order to get pregnant by
Rich
them.
athletes,
Rich
in
athletes,
particular.
Rich
Yeah.
rookie.
Yeah. So she sort of like groomed PJ Washington, who's a backup power forward for the well, he might be a starter actually now for the Charlotte Bobcats. I don't know because nobody watches the Charlotte Bobcats, and she had a baby with him, and Charlotte Hornets. Sorry, she had a baby with him, and then now he wants nothing to do with her. He like just trashes her and is like very embarrassed by the thing. Now she's on this sort of like redemption tour, basically saying, "Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done some of this stuff." And then when she's asked, she's like, "Do you regret all these videos where you deliberately talk about fucking multiple men and tricking men at the same time? Do you think that you regret any of that?" And she says no. And I'm just like, well, then how do you expect
did say
redemption?
yes.
What do you mean?
She has a recent interview where she said that she regrets it. She regrets
Okay, she does now because when she went on Pearl, she did
because of
too.
her child, because she has her kid and
Got
she's
it.
afraid that her kids are going to see.
There
her.
it is. Shaquille
Oh, that would be
O'Neal.
why.
Shaquille O'Neal took a break from covering the NBA Finals on Tuesday to have dinner with celebrity Brittany Renner. There it is. Confirmed.
Celebrity.
I don't know what that is.
NBA Hall of Famer and the mother of Charlotte Hornets power forward
It's not
PJ
Charlotte. Is
Washington's
that a
child
porn star?
dined together at Beverly Hills Hotel in what was reportedly described as a friendly catch-up.
Yeah, do you
Well,
go ahead?
We need to be.
The
questioning-
Beverly
Go-
we
go
need to
ahead.
be questioning Shaquille O'Neal's like.
Sanity?
Does he
Yes.
have like a brain or anything?
No, he has
at all?
like 12 fucking
does
kids.
Does he know
He's worth-
anything? Or
I will
why?
say this
Shaq's
right
worth
now,
$800 million.
live on the air. I will say this right now. Brittany Renner is bipolar. Stay away from her.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't know her in person. Obviously, we don't know her personally, but she's definitely the type of girl that could get.
Raise
like,
your hand
anything
if
she
you know who
wants.
the fuck this bitch is. 'Cause
Nobody
I
knows.
don't.
I don't know.
Nobody
who
does
this-
good.
I don't
So
know.
why are we talking about her?
I don't know who
know.
this is either. I don't know.
Irrelevant.
Google her.
Unfortunately, everybody in the chat knows.
Okay.
It's a scroll right here.
Okay, well,
So I have a question specifically because you guys aren't talking as much. Do you think that a woman's past matters that much? So we're just talking about Brittany Renner. I know you don't know who she is, but she's famous for all the stuff that she did. She goes public and she basically instructs women on how to take men for the money. And so do you think a woman's past, it should matter to a man, or is it something she overcomes? What do you think?
Yes.
You think it does matter?
For a guy, they look at a woman as more, and not saying this is good or bad, but they look at a woman as an extension of themselves. So a guy wants to have a nice house, he wants to have a nice car, he wants to have an established career, he wants to have a gorgeous girl by his side that could also handle her own, not be embarrassing when she goes out, not be somebody where they're talking behind his back being like, oh, that's the girl that did this and this and that. He wants to have somebody who's just as respected as him. Yep.
I posted a meme this week, and it's Michael Jordan crying on Father's Day when he won the NBA championship, and he's kissing the trophy, and he goes, "What it feels like when you're dating a girl and none of your homies know anything about her." Frog level Arkansas. Frog level Arkansas. That's what I'm talking about. No, but it is that's interesting. Do you think, Rita, that a woman's past should matter?
I think it shouldn't matter as long as like the woman is happy. Like,
Well, can the man be happy as well? I'm just curious. That's what I'm saying. Should it matter to a man when she's
okay,
dating a
so
man?
then like should the man's past matter?
No.
Well,
Should the woman's
that's the
past
next question.
Matter to the man.
So we'll ask that next. We'll ask that next.
I think that that's up to them if they want to care about their body count or whatever the fuck they did in the past. But like, okay, why are you even talking to me in the first place then?
Right.
They didn't know.
Well, now
'Cause
you
that's the
know, and
thing,
you
too,
still want to
like,
fuck me.
like,
So
when
what's
they
up?
when they don't know,
Okay.
when they
Cry
don't
about
know,
it.
and then they actually like you, they find interest in you, and then they start asking the questions of like, oh well, what is your body
Okay,
count? What
and
have
then
you done?
You can
Then
stick
you're like,
around or not.
Have any of
Like,
you
there's
ever
another
been on
motherfucker
like
to
a first
replace you.
date or a second date or something, and the guy asks you like point blank, like, "What's your body count?"
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
a
of
date?
course.
Yeah.
I
No.
haven't.
They do.
No.
Okay, cool. So we're getting yeses and nos. If yes,
raise
your hand if the answer is yes.
You've had a guy on a
ask you
first
that?
date or second date ask
Ask
you
you
what
that.
your
Like the
body count was.
second-ish date
Okay,
where
cool.
they
I don't need to know what your number is. What I want to know is, did you answer the question, or did you lie? Did you tell the
I
truth?
never lie.
Okay, so you just told him the truth.
I told him the truth.
How long between the time you asked the question and you told him the truth? Like immediately?
Yeah, I don't lie.
Okay.
I'm not ashamed of what I've done, but I mean, I'm not an innocent being.
Yes.
I've had.
Clearly not from the penis on your.
Oh no, yeah. I talk about wishing I had a dick and pegging dudes and doing all this shit. Like I've done a lot in my.
How do you feel
past.
about blue hair on guys?
Blue.
Oh God, here we go.
Do you want me to peg you?
No, this is another person.
Is Destiny in the
We have a
chat?
ton of respect for you, Destiny.
Destiny
Don't listen
in
to
the
him.
chat.
I'm not a part of this, dude.
I
I'm
said
not a
blue
part of
hair.
this.
Somebody
I didn't
called
name any
Destiny.
I'm not a part of this.
What?
But no, I think like if a guy's gonna care, then we'll just be friends. I personally like I've gotten so comfortable with being single that when a guy starts judging me, I'm just like, well then you don't gotta do
Beautiful.
it. Like,
There we go. That's what
yeah.
I was looking for. Rita, did you want to say something?
It doesn't matter what they think. Like they're either gonna stick around or not.
Right.
There's always somebody to replace them, so it doesn't
It's
matter.
for men. For men.
For men.
Men. There's someone to replace the men, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Like
Got
I can
it.
always find another man.
Okay, so that's interesting. Do you think that, because another stat, I bring this up all the time, about 33% of men over the last year have no sex. And that number is actually going up. It's probably gone up since the pandemic. Is that a surprising number to you?
Yes.
Kind of, because it's like, what the fuck? I
They're
could go without sex for
they're,
that long.
They're
Like, that's
50.
Crazy.
They're 50 million men or people on OnlyFans subscribing. There's 1 million content creators. Are you really that surprised that 33% of men have no
Maybe
sex?
it's because
Do any
they're
of you- I
just
didn't even
jacking
ask
off
this.
instead of actually seeking real women.
Do any of you have OnlyFans? Are you on OnlyFans? You're
I
on
have
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans, but it's my content.
It's your podcast.
Yeah, it's my
Some of my
podcast.
friends, some of the girls when they come to my show, they'll put my episode on their.
Like maybe
Yeah.
porn is just more convenient than seeking out a relationship because guess what? The world's fucked
Okay,
up.
so how about this, Rita? If you're a man and you don't have a lot of options, so let's say like, what's it, Glenn, the base in Fayetteville, North Carolina, is it Bragg?
Bragg,
Yeah. So Fort Bragg in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and what used to be called Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. We're talking 100,000 men and 20,000 women. Or places in Alaska where it's like 6 men to every woman. In places like that, do you think the guy really has the option? If he sees a woman that's attractive, he kind of has to ignore the red flags. And we just said a third of men have no sex. So could that partly be the reason why you don't have any trouble replacing these men? I'm doing this for the audience. Like,
'Cause it's like the ratio's off.
right, no, but the thing is, you're saying things that are antithetical to what the guys in the chat believe. What they believe is, no, you should have a low body count. You absolutely should care, in your past matters, right? And to a certain extent, to a lot of people, that's what they believe, right?
Yeah.
So if they believe that, then what should happen is the world should reflect that. And what you should see is a harder and harder time for you to find a man. And you're saying you're not finding a hard time to find a man. And could it be because a lot of these dudes are simps because they have no ability to find women, and because of that, they're a little bit more pliable? Is that possible?
I mean, you just said it.
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you think?
I
Go ahead.
mean,
Kylie, you have something to
They
say?
want women more than women want them.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know how true this is.
Okay.
But being the fact that like porn and OnlyFans is like a huge thing.
Yes.
I feel like it has kind of like warped the male mind, and so now they're seeing all these like, even if they're around these like really attractive, beautiful women, like the fact of the matter is like that is now what they think that they should be sleeping with or that they should get. But the fact is like you're not going to be able to sleep with these like beautiful women. They're not going to want to be with you or whatever. Like so, but they're like now it's kind of warped their brain where even if they do have a chance to go home with this woman that is in their like
in their league.
He's like not going to do it because it's not satisfying enough to him now because this has become such like porn and OnlyFans and all this.
This
is all.
I think
You say the same about women and
But also
money.
time, dude. Like you're like spending all this time seeking a woman when you can just jack off to somebody on OnlyFans and get it over with. Like
You're saying that
time.
you're saying that men
reason
should
why-
you're saying that men should not be simps and instead just jack off rather than to deal
No,
with
she's saying
deal
that's
with women.
another reason
I'm just
why
saying
they're
like
not
that's another reason
why
that
men aren't
they're
having-
not having sex because they don't have to.
Yeah.
Got it. What were you saying, Lana?
I forgot.
Okay. I thought it was. Go ahead.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
someone's sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't feel like someone's past should ever matter unless it's something serious. Like, oh, you were in jail for murder. Oh, you have
herpes.
like like the serious situations. But like when men start going, like I have a girlfriend who's with a dude and he starts going through her phone from like 4 years before they were together and starts freaking out. Like if you ever start going
Or
past,
before she was born.
yeah, like if you ever start going backwards.
You know.
But it's like if you, my
Michael's trying
How
to die.
dare you fuck this bitch? Should ever matter.
She's armed. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, here, I'm gonna. This is a question for the chat. Ready? One, you have a girl who was convicted and got out of jail for murder, but she was trying to defend a family member or whatever. But she's actually murdered someone. And she got out of jail, but she has a very low body count, like 0, 1, or 2.
Fuck that.
Or a girl with a high body count, but she has not been convicted of murder. Which do you choose? 1 is the girl who's been convicted of murder, and 2 is the girl that has the high body count. Put 1 or 2 in the chat. No. We're gonna read the chat. Read the chat. Read the chat.
We got to get to super chats right now. So Chase, set us up.
My bad.
Line them up.
Yeah, so I've got all the super chats for Michael's stream here.
Okay.
Glenn's got all the ones for your stream here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what we've got very first, we'll actually do that one last because it's a topic.
Okay.
So we've got $10 super chat from Joe Raimondi. What Kylie said about hanging out with older people was common until we invented the modern classroom format. Younger people would always be learning from and working with older people than them.
Yeah, that's, I mean, to a certain extent, but with the classroom format, he's talking about the 19th century Prussian model, where basically the reason why we have grades in school is because we manufacture workers for a manufacturing society. We don't live in a manufacturing society anymore, and so the current education system has failed us demonstrably. If you have a child who's doing poor in English and extremely good in mathematics, they have to stay in the same grade with all the other kids that are not as dumb as dumber than them in this one subject and not as smart as them in this other subject, and that's not the way it should work. That's why I recommend everybody read the One World Schoolhouse by Sartain. That is a great solution to that problem.
That
Go ahead.
could be a conversation topic between the two of you now.
There we go. Our kids are going to the Khan Academy. Just FYI. Go ahead.
We've got one from Black Ice saying Rollo and Michael holding it down with the best quality show compared to the others. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
$40.
There we go. We haven't made any of you cry yet, right? Nobody's on the verge of tears yet, right? Nobody's gonna walk out.
They make fun of my dick, bro.
You guys ready? Hey, guys, get ready because you're about to cry. Go ahead and read the next one.
Okay. Well, let's let Glenn get through Rollo's first.
Okay. Before we get to it.
All right.
Go for it, man.
All right. So
Speak into the mic. You know how to do it.
Honey Simon for $20. The biggest black pill for me was recognizing that women generally don't believe that men, or children, especially men, need fathers. They'll claim they understand, but the medium is the message. Divorce, out of wedlock, birth, etc.
Shut up.
Well, time out. Lana, what do you think about that?
I mean, of course, children need a father, but it's not the father. I mean, it's not the kids who choose for the father to leave.
No,
it's the fucking dude who leaves.
The
It's like,
motherfucker ain't there. What are they
I mean,
gonna do?
so often most divorces are initiated by women, and 86% of the time in family court, primary custody is given to the woman.
Divorce is one thing. Marriage is one thing. That's marriage.
Okay.
There's dudes that really be fucking girls.
Yeah.
Having sex unprotected and then leave the fucking mom to just raise the kid by
Right.
herself. That has nothing to do with marriage.
Okay.
That has absolutely nothing to do with marriage. And there's a lot of guys, unfortunately, there's a lot of women that'll get pregnant and then a guy's like, yo, here's $500. Go get rid of it. And the girl still keeps it. That's her fault. But at the same time, you're still a dude having unprotected sex. That's on them. That's on you guys, motherfucker. That is not on us. That wasn't on us.
I'm confused. As a woman raising a child, she is wonderful, and her dad wasn't in her life, but she came out great. So it just.
What was it? If you mind talking about that,
No, it's-
why was he not in her life?
I was 15.
Oh,
I was young. I was with him for 6 years. I was in a domestic violence and all of that, and I didn't want it. I had enough. I stayed. No,
Stab him. If a dude lay hands on you, stab him while he sleep, girl. That's stab him while he sleep.
It was hard.
Motherfucker, there's no reason to fucking put hands on nobody. If you're gonna put hands on me, stab him.
Guilty.
Self-defense. See, I went to jail for self-defense.
Would you have rather raised your kid with her having a fatherly figure in the household? Would you have rathered to raise a family with a father? No.
I think that we
Because
need to
you would rather do it by yourself.
These fucking
because
men,
one
dude.
opinion matters, and when you don't have a good father figure, or at least somebody who is responsible and that can show a good example, you don't want them around to put something in your
So you
kid's
just
head
didn't want
and create
him in
bad
her
habits.
life.
Why-
Just him, but a
there's
man
so
would have
many
been
men
different.
that have bad habits.
Why do you think
So
we
just
everybody got
man in
fucking daddy
general.
issues?
create bad habits from that.
Would you say that
wouldn't
it's
want it.
kind of hard to figure out whether the guy's a good guy or a bad guy when you're
Every
50?
guy's a bad guy.
You're
They're
15
all
years old,
shit.
yeah.
They're all shit until you
But
turn.
like-
Men ain't shit.
But to be fair, women aren't either. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of women who are terrible mothers.
That's probably true.
There are a lot of
That's
women who are
true.
terrible.
By
mothers.
the way, guys, unanimous. All of the guys chose the woman who was convicted of murder over a woman with a high body count.
Yeah.
Every
Good.
single one of them.
I would have done the same
Same.
thing.
I would have done the
too.
same.
Welcome to the
I-
manosphere.
So for me, I personally have like this little plan.
Crazy.
I honestly think that I mean, it's like my backup plan, but I'm probably going to honestly try to go through IVF. I honestly don't want to deal with the whole have a child with somebody. I'd rather going to have it raised by myself. I already have my mother's going to plan on helping me.
You're going to get
Like,
a surrogate or are you going to carry the child?
No, I want to carry the child.
Okay.
But I want to probably go through IVF and just get like, a donor sort of situation because I just think there's so many situations where people do get married and they get divorced. People, the fathers are horrible. They're, everybody splits and then it's horrible for the child.
you frozen your eggs
saying,
yet?
I was going to say, that was my next question, but like, are you saying that because you think most guys that like you're just not finding the guy who is like father material, like a guy who
No,
would
I
like
think
want to
I
go
found-
into the future with?
Plenty of people who are father materials, but I know too many situations where custody battles become nasty. And I don't ever want to put a child that I have personally in a situation where it's like, no, we're going to get him this week and you're going to get him that week. Or, oh, what's that? You can't watch him this weekend. I don't want to deal with that.
Like if you
Can I
can do
say
it on your
something?
own,
Yeah,
do
go
it
ahead.
on your own.
But
You don't
I think
need
it
this.
should be discussed before you have a child because
But-
there is good men out there that are father material and that
Right.
are ready to settle down and bring
But there's
value
a
to that
there's a
parenting
difference
table.
between a man who is going to be a good father and
Agreed.
a man who's going to be a great husband. Sometimes a man could be a really great father and be a
Yeah,
fucking terrible husband,
yeah.
or they could be a
Sure.
wonderful husband and want not shit to do with
It's
the
like
fucking
more
kids.
safe to do it on your own
So
at this
it's-
point.
It is-
Let's go, Nick Cannon. Let's go. Oh, sorry.
Fuck that guy.
You guys
He's
know
a
Nick, you
polygamist.
guys know that Nick Cannon, after 10 kids, that he doesn't have to pay any more child
That's
support.
crazy. I've heard that
Do you know
rule.
that
Yeah.
he does it after 10? It's the same thing in Texas. I think it's like 6 or 7 kids. You don't pay any more child support. Isn't that crazy?
Damn, you smart.
Yeah. Isn't it,
So
isn't it
like
nuts?
what you were saying, like
But
what
is
if
it
you
with the
have
same baby mama?
Hell no.
Yeah,
he's
you
got
don't know
10
Nick
different
Cannon?
baby
Yeah, of
mamas.
course.
baby
No,
mamas.
I'm
Nick
saying
Cannon has
different
kids with
baby
10
mamas.
different women now.
that's what I'm saying. But is it only if you have 7 kids, you just automatically don't have to pay child support?
Yes. Yeah, the state, because it's becoming more expensive for the state to prosecute you than it is to get the child support payment. So
crazy.
at that point, they just stop.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So that's what
he's
Mexicans
smart.
do.
That is
Yes.
Yeah,
There we
that
go.
was
That's what Mexicans
All
do.
right, let me
Let's do that
So-
for child support. If we have
All right.
5 kids, bro, that's a big ass.
She was trying to ask you
okay,
something. Hold on.
okay, hang on one second here. So this is according to Single Parent Success Foundation, a national nonprofit that encourages educational opportunities for single parents.
Yeah.
Selectively,
That would be me.
electively or not.
100%.
63% of suicides nationwide are individuals from single parent families. 75% of children in chemical dependency hospitals are from single parent families. More than half of all youths incarcerated in the United States lived in a one-parent family as a child. 37% of families led by single mothers nationwide live in poverty. Comparatively, 6.8% of families with married parents live in poverty, according to the data from the Heritage Foundation here. Consider these single-parent household statistics here. 63% of youth suicides are single parent. 90% of all homeless and runaway children. 85% of children that exhibited behavioral disorders. 80% of rapists. There goes our child. motivated with displaced anger. 71% of all high school dropouts. 75% of all adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers. 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions, and 85% of all youths sitting in prison right now.
So here's my thing. I didn't say that I wouldn't necessarily try to find a male figure for my child in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I just never want to go through a crazy custody battle with my child.
Sure.
I don't want to sit there and lose my child. If I sat there and birthed you, we ain't about to sit here and fight over who gets what weekend, and I want him on Christmas, and oh, you want it on Christmas. Like, I just have too many girls that
But
constantly
is that selfish to you?
yeah,
Men
but it's
don't
my
have to
child.
give birth though. I mean, think about that. You carried that child for 9 months. You had to go through giving birth. Like,
But that's
how
what you
can
get
they,
like the
claim,
baby when
like,
it comes to
how
court.
can they
When it
claim
comes to court,
ownership?
you're the one that gets to keep the baby.
Not always.
Not always.
the
Okay, so
majority.
again, 86% of the time, primary custody is awarded to
It's
women.
always to the women.
97% of alimony is paid by men to women.
Yeah.
That's the way it
But
works
that
out.
makes
But
sense.
let me actually,
It makes
I'm
sense when
gonna
they're young,
play. I'm gonna play devil's advocate to the stuff he just said because those are fucking terrifying numbers, aren't they?
I
They're
agree.
terrifying.
Which is why I'm
Now,
saying.
but you have to control for poverty. So that's one of the issues. So if you control for poverty, those numbers are not going to be the same. If you have a single mother household and she makes $400,000 a year, the likelihood of the child ending up in a juvenile detention center may still be higher, but it's not as high as normal. The likelihood of committing suicide. What happens is it's not that necessarily the fact that the single parentness, it can cause an increased delinquency in the child. But what also causes an increased delinquency in the child is no food, no place to sleep.
And let me also clarify one other thing here. This is single mother households because 42% of children today are born out of wedlock in the United States. That's not even being married in the first place. That's number one. Number two is we always talk about fatherlessness or we talk about single parent households rather than saying the very fact that it is single mothers because women, by and large, 86% of the time have at least primary custody, if not of the joint custody, or they get sole custody awarded to them.
But also the men leave the women. Like, let's talk about that fact.
Okay, so
how many of those?
You can get
How
10
many of
women
those?
pregnant
How many of
and
those
not have
men
to father
want to
anybody.
be involved? Like, the other thing is, I think there's this miscommunication, or this misidea that men are just hit it and forget it, right? Ejaculate and evacuate.
Imagine
and
getting
they're out.
pregnant by a man. You get pregnant, and in your mind, you're like, I don't want to kill this being inside of me.
Yeah.
But they don't want that child.
Yeah.
So they leave. But you're left with the kids.
But
So
what is
do you think
what
that
is
doesn't
the more
account for
what?
the statistic?
No, it's not that I don't. Well, yeah, I'm sure it
Okay.
accounts for
Higher
part of that
because we
statistics.
hold
But
the
what I'm saying,
child.
I understand that. But the other problem is that when the sperm leaves a man's body, he is 100% powerless to have any control over that. If you get an abortion, he has no say in it. If you
That's
don't,
true.
if you want 18 years of child support, he has no say in that whatsoever. So when we get down to the abortion, topic, I've been on this several times, is that if women want men to be involved in this conversation, then we have to have a seat at the table. Just because we don't have a uterus doesn't mean that we won't be paying for that child or we won't be held
But it's
accountable.
not your body, though.
I
That's
understand
the
that, but it
problem.
is also
But
our
it is,
resources
though.
that has to go to supporting that child as well.
Then he should not have
So-
come
But
in
he
her.
came in
That's
her.
the part.
I understand that, but
He came
whenever
in
we,
her.
I got it, but
Well,
when
not using
we,
protection,
but
the
after,
woman
what I'm
is
talking about,
growing in her body.
it is
unprotected
your
with somebody.
choice
But
to
it's in
have
her
sex
body,
with him.
not
It is
his.
your choice to have the baby as well. It is not his choice. It is never his choice. In fact,
it shouldn't be because that's not your body.
very vocal
Well,
feminists
read it.
say you have no seat at the table. You like these old white men shouldn't be talking about this because they don't have a uterus.
Rita, let me ask you something. Who do you think the gatekeepers of sex are? Are they men? The gatekeepers of sex are. Do you think it's mostly men or mostly women? Do you think in your life there have been more men that wanted to have sex with you and you didn't want to have sex with them? Or the other way around?
Of course.
So the gatekeepers of sex would be which gender?
Women.
Women.
Okay, do you understand where this might be an
So
issue?
yes, you have unprotected sex.
Right.
And you develop a child. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the bottom line, that's your body giving birth.
No, we're not
So
we're not
how can
debating
you
that
tell
for sure.
somebody
Like
what to
nobody
do with their
here
body?
now maybe in the chat,
yeah.
but nobody here is just saying we need to pass laws so that we can just abort these women or abort these fetuses while we're just men and the women are
And,
pregnant.
like,
No one's saying that.
It sucks
We're-
that
we're
men
just
don't
pointing
really
we're pointing
have
that
a say
out.
whether you keep your child
okay.
or not.
It's not about whether
I
or not
get
it sucks. It's that
But
is the way the world is.
It is
right?
because
It's after
that's
the
your
fact.
body. That's not like that's the woman's body,
Correct.
not the man's body. So like you can't force
But
someone
what about the baby's
to
body?
go through. Well, that's the fucking issue, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Abortion
And then,
or
if
not
the-
abortion,
if the baby doesn't necessarily count, well, I mean, excuse me, if the baby does count, and the baby is considered a body, isn't that considered the man's body as well? Because that's his man's baby. You're just holding it. But that's the man's body
It is
inside your body.
Technically, that's 23 alleles from the man.
I mean,
Technically, that's his body inside
the
your body.
mechanics
You're
of it
just
is
holding
this,
it.
and I understand what
Sperm
you're saying
that
because we
fertilize
always
your
get
egg.
into this conversation where it's like, okay, yes, it takes two people to have a child. Got it, understood. What I'm saying is, after the fact, it becomes the choice of the mother whether or not the child gets born
Yeah.
or it does not. And until
Because
men
their
have a
body.
seat at the until men can say just what you're saying, just a second here, is that it's also half of his genetics there as well. But he is, if a woman has the right to choose whether or not she's going to have the child, why does the man not have the right to say, you know what, I don't want to
Exactly.
support this child?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can easily just
Now,
take them to court.
that is not an endorsement of that. I'm just presenting
Yeah,
a
that
fact.
makes
that
sense.
It's funny. It's funny. We're coming to an agreement over
Yeah.
an argument that people commit murder over and have committed murder over. And I'm not talking about abortion.
The baby.
I'm,
You
no,
are the
I'm literally talking about protests on the White House lawn. People like at the Capitol, like people wanting to kill each other over this
think
idea.
If
This is
you want to keep the child,
okay.
keep the child. But if the man doesn't want to keep the child, then they shouldn't have to pay.
It's interesting. There's a lot
Because
of men.
that's entrapment.
There's a lot of
That's
there's a lot of men who
Because
would.
a lot of girls get pregnant.
There's
just
a lot
so
of
that the
there's a lot of guys in the chat who are
give them
going to
money.
agree
And
with
it's
that.
like, girls,
Yes.
there's so many
Definitely
other ways to
keep
make
them.
money than having a fucking baby. Come on, what the fuck?
Because they even call that securing the bag.
Like, bitch,
Like,
you,
Again,
you
hold on.
literally
Hold
just
on.
tore your fucking
What
vagina and
that's
asshole
Brittany
open.
Renner. What you just said, that is what
That is
you didn't know who
Brittany
Brittany
Renner.
Renner. That's what
She
Brittany
was
Renner is.
the maker of Secure the Bag. Brittany Renner
Secure
was
the bag by ripping your vagina and asshole open?
She
No
was
thanks.
she was literally the creator of
Fuck
Secure
that.
the Bag, honey. Because if you have sex with a
Dumb.
rookie athlete, you
Sorry,
get
Brittany
pregnant
Renner, I
by
don't know
him,
the fuck
then
you
now
are
you
about.
have
All
all
right,
the- you have
Glenn
the check.
Lawrence. Where's the rest of those super chats?
Next.
Bring it up. Moving right along.
I have 3 more that he's going to get to.
All right.
All right, we got $2 from whatever podcast.
Cannot hear you at all, man. You got to get way
Get up
deeper
close.
in
We
there.
got $2 from
That's
whatever
securing the
podcast. Thank you,
bag.
Brian. He
Oh.
says Rollo and Mike are the only 10s at the table.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got another.
We are tonight.
Destiny has actually convinced himself that he's intellectual for allowing his woman to get piped down by a bull.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. I think Destiny's bisexual and lets his girl get do that. I don't think it's because he's intellectual.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
All right, guys, ready? No, let's reset because I'm interested to see what they think.
know.
There's a guy we debated 3 weeks ago,
have not
2 weeks ago.
dated. No, we debated. Not
Debated him
dated.
3 weeks ago. It was
Clarify that.
Throuple situation.
It was Rollo and I versus Sneeko
No.
and Destiny. It was Rollo and I versus Sneeko and Destiny. It's funny. I'm the only person at the table using my real name. It was Rollo and I versus Sneeko and Destiny, and we did a 2-way, like 2-on-2 debate, and Sneeko had to leave, and Destiny and I went back and forth, and we were talking about this. And the thing comes up all the time because Destiny has blue hair and he's openly bisexual, and he lets his wife have sex with other men, and he has sex with other women, right? So they do that whole thing. But the thing is, like, he's not claiming he's intellectual, so he lets his wife sleep with other men. He lets his wife sleep with other men because he's bisexual. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like,
Everybody has their own poison.
That's exactly my point. Like, I don't
That's nasty.
find him to have
It is
more or less.
nasty, right?
Okay, here we
Isn't it
go.
nasty?
There we go. Okay, and so Rollo does it. Rollo thinks it's gross. I don't. It's not that I don't like. For me, it would be incredibly gross. I'm just saying for him, that's his preference. He can choose to do that. Whatever he
I
wants.
love using that example when we talk about like how we live in a post-marriage society. Thank you, Aaron Clary, because like they're married, right? Like how is that like marriage?
Isn't that considered
No, but
polygamous?
the crazy part is he'll be on a stream and his homie is like dancing with his wife behind him while he's on a Twitch stream and they're about to go. Oh my God, bro!
I just say
can't even
whatever makes
imagine.
people happy. If that's what makes you happy at the end of the day, you do that and you live your life.
Okay.
I don't want to say whatever it is.
Let's keep going
until they start raising your kids.
Let's keep going, and then we need questions specifically for Maya, Kat, and Christina because I want them to talk more. Keep going.
Go on, give it to me, Glenn. Go, bring it over, quick.
Give it to me, baby.
I said the super chat because I'm cool like that. Ruth married Boaz, and they had a 40-year age gap. So for all you moral, social justice warriors, God approves.
All right.
Red Pill
Bye.
Crip says, salute to Mike and Rollo. Appreciate you guys on every aspect. The biggest difference, if a man doesn't do the work, he doesn't hear the inherent yes you receive just from having different chromosomes. We earn, you embrace.
What? Read that again. Read it fast.
I ain't reading that.
No,
Just
don't.
saying,
Listen,
don't
sometimes
read it again.
they don't use Grammarly.
Men must
It doesn't
become
matter.
women.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Zambada,
I thought it was a you problem. My bad.
Trinovich tweet calling out Rollo. Ask Rollo about Kylie. I'm not in the business for making men better. I'm in the business of supplying men with the tools they need to make themselves better. Rollo Tomasi.
That don't make no fucking
And I said, I'll take the murderer for 500, Alex. I'm kind of toxic like that. Then Excel Self said for $10, can't hold the whammon accountable. So guys, crying in the chat, get over it. Acknowledge that even if it isn't your fault, you're still responsible. That's right. Welcome to the Red Pill, MFers. And,
I can agree with that one. I agree
$4.99
with that
to
one.
chat. And the last one so far, they're proving Honey Simon's point, they genuinely don't believe children need fathers. Despite all the data, single mothers raise kids, trash kids. All right.
Don't nobody
And
say that. Shut up.
$2 from Jerry's podcast, my homeboy. Shout out to Glenn Swallow. Wartain, I'm thinking he means Sartain.
No,
I
it
love
means W
Vegas.
Sartain.
Salute.
Fartain?
Wartain. It's a W. It's a W. Wartain. So if it's L-Tain, no, it's L-Tain, meaning it's an L. W-Tain. Okay, ready?
My service came at me on
Chase,
out
go.
of the blue.
We got a couple more here. So we've got one $3 Canadian. Oh, Jesus. We got $3 Canadian from Reckless Gaming. Accountability is like kryptonite on full display.
Okay.
Two from Joe Raimondo. MOA is awesome, by the way. Every guy should sign up. Keeping it 100.
Sign it up right now. Use this promo code. It's in his link. Use this promo code to sign up for Men of Action mentoring.
He also wanted to shout out Mike Rollo. It was good meeting you guys at the white party.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
and
a
then
fun game.
Justin Reyes with the $10. Women control sex and birth and have 30-something types of birth control and can only get pregnant about 6 days a month.
That's actually really true.
Accuracy is so offensive.
Unlucky motherfuckers out there.
I like it, but that was funny. I'm gonna use that. That was funny.
We've got one last one.
One last one. Get ready, guys.
From Justin Reyes. He says, this was at the very beginning of the show, $20. Ladies, name 3 countries not in North America.
Ready,
done.
go.
I'm out.
Stop. Christina, go.
I'm out.
Stop. Everybody quiet. Christina,
I will
go.
not get in geography because I suck.
3
at
countries.
it.
Christina, time out. Christina, what's your last name?
Rojas.
Okay, Rojas. Where would that be from?
Viva la raza Mexico.
No, but that's in North America. But where would the name be from?
Spain.
There you go. Okay, got one. Keep going. Keep going. What's another country that borders Spain? Come on, you got this.
It doesn't have to border Spain.
Huh?
Any countries.
France.
France. There you go. That's 2. Come on, one more.
Germany.
No, let her answer. Go, Teresa.
I wouldn't have got
I
that.
find that question extremely offensive.
Yeah.
Name 3
But
countries.
can you answer it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Ecuador,
Lithuania,
Brazil,
Sweden,
Argentina,
Denmark,
Germany,
Netherlands.
France,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, beautiful. Go ahead. Rita.
Fuck.
She just did like
3.
15.
I literally just named
We couldn't hear you
six of
because you're
them.
talking when she's talking. We can't hear.
Brazil, Ecuador, Argentina.
Okay,
Kylie, come on.
Russia,
What's my favorite
Ukraine.
one? Come on.
What's your favorite? Oh, I can't say it. And China.
She's trying to say Liechtenstein. Okay,
Liechtenstein.
Go ahead, Kat.
Again?
Yeah.
She just did it.
Japan, Thailand, what's another? Malaysia,
Okay, very good.
Australia.
Okay, nice.
New
Go
Zealand.
ahead.
About to
Lana.
make an ass out of myself. I don't know. I
Name
really
countries
don't.
in Europe.
You just named
Yeah.
Mexico.
And aim
Mexico,
Lana,
Durango,
Lana.
with
South
the-
America, Mexico.
Lana, the United States, every
down
country the
through
United
South
States has
America.
gone to war with in the last
Ukraine
100
and
years.
Russia?
Okay, she said that. Well, no, the United States is not going to war with Ukraine and Russia. What other countries have the United States gone to war with?
Hey,
France.
Let
I don't
her name
know.
the countries.
I don't know. To be fair, I'm gonna be
Poland.
completely dumbass blonde on this one. No offense.
Maya, can you give me 3?
fucking whooping your ass.
Bring us home.
Poland and Germany.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I want to point out also, they didn't really have trouble naming 3 countries because we picked
I've
smarter.
been to like 15
Stop.
or 20.
Because we picked smarter girls on our show.
I was
Just want to
gonna
point that out.
say,
I just like to point that out.
Dumbass.
We picked smarter girls on
I
our
was
show.
the beaner dumbass that
Does
didn't know
anybody-
shit.
Does anybody here have a graduate degree? Anybody here have a master's?
New York Post.
Okay,
Go
you do?
fuck
Okay.
yourself.
You have a master's? Okay. So, like, usually on every episode, I like to have at least one girl with a master's degree on here. All right, beautiful. Okay, go ahead. Was there any other super chats?
I believe that was all of them. Let me double check.
Okay.
3.
Nice.
Yeah, that was all of us for us.
I'm like, I could do math on a ruler.
We got one
Fuck
more
you.
for Wrestle Street.
Go ahead.
Go.
This is from Paul from Coming Out.
We're having a real hard
Thanks,
time
Paul.
hearing Glenn when he's talking.
All right, so this is Paul from Command
Eat
Man
the mic.
Podcast.
Talk to the
That
dick.
jabroni, Glenn Lawrence, is going down at SummerSlam.
You're going down at SummerSlam. Yeah, you
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
How important is intelligence to you in like of a guy's intelligence?
Time out. We're going to go. I want to go Maya. I want to
Yes,
go
Maya
with Kat
especially.
and Christina. Maya, what do you think?
She's-
How is important is intelligence?
She's a newly minted
I think
human.
intelligence is measured on different levels.
Okay.
So there's some people that don't have a degree that still run very successful
Sure,
businesses.
for
that are
sure.
very
Education is
intelligent.
different than intelligence. Yes.
So I think that
Success is not
intelligence
necessarily based on intelligence all the time.
At all.
Yeah.
There's TikTokers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that example.
But I will bet you if we control for intelligence, we're going to find smarter TikTokers do better. I bet you we will.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
bet you
every
will.
TikTok.
Okay, let her continue.
Maya, keep going.
Let her continue.
Intelligence is important.
Okay, intelligence. So the thing, what he's talking about, you can measure EQ, IQ, these different things. The reason why an IQ test was created, does anybody know? It is the ability for a worker in the manufacturing economy back in like the 19th century to be able to take on a new job. What is the rate at which you could learn a new skill? That is directly what IQ is supposed to measure. So there's a lot of holes in that, but that's generally what we use.
Intelligence quotient.
Yeah, intelligence quotient.
Like,
by the way,
they had to find some sort of unit of measure.
Yes, for sure. One standard deviation for intelligence is always ranked at 100 being the mean, and the first one standard deviation is 115 down to 85. The second standard deviation is 130 down to 70. Anyway, go ahead. I want to ask you, Kat, intelligence. No, just they're not talking as much. I want them to talk more. I want you guys to get. I want you to get your viral clip.
Room temperature, IQ.
I want Kat to get her viral moment
Perfect.
also. Go ahead, Kat.
I enjoy having intellectual conversations with my partners, so I would say it's very important.
Okay, awesome.
It's important.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a guy who you found physically unattractive and was able to display a level of intelligence where you found him attractive?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. Go ahead, Christina. No, Teresa, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm definitely a sapiosexual. I find it more...
Here we go.
Well, I'm just saying that I find intelligence sexy. So, like, if someone is maybe, like, let's say a 7, but they're super smart and they can teach me a lot of things, I find them more attractive as a person.
But you would say there is a lower level as far as physical attractiveness, and if they meet that lower criteria, then intelligence matters. But if they're below that criteria, then probably not as much.
Intelligence matters regardless to me.
No, what I'm saying is a guy who's a 1 is not going to be able to smart his way into some vagina. Like, that's what I'm saying, right?
Kind of.
I don't know why you say that. And honestly,
Hold on. Go ahead.
Intelligence level.
No. Physical attractiveness. Physical attractiveness.
I wouldn't say that because I think that at the end of the day, to me, I care more about how 1, a person treats me, and 2, if they're actually smart. I mean, obviously, attractiveness is one thing, but I've definitely have slept with people who I don't think are attractive, and I've also done the opposite. I've slept with somebody one time when I thought was super hot, but then they were an idiot, and I'm just like, I can't do this.
Rita, you were saying something?
Athletes.
Okay, look, like you can fuck like a hot
Closer.
dude, but they're like, okay, you can fuck like a hot dude, but if they're dumb as shit, like you're not gonna have a relationship with that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just
That's not gonna be long term.
But if somebody stimulates your brain and your body, that's like a whole different scenario.
That's rare.
And you don't want a room temperature IQ though. Okay.
Well, no, if it's 122 in Bull's Head, Nevada, it's not that bad. Go ahead,
that's
Christina.
not room temperature, Michael. What kind of fucking room are you in?
It's a hot room. Have you seen this one? I take showers with this one. It's like we're back in hell.
You take hot yoga at 122. You can die up in that.
Go ahead.
Practicing
Christina.
how you mean when you're taking hot showers.
Yeah. And Christina, intelligence.
No, intelligence is important because it brings value. You don't have a boring relationship. You want to learn from that person and vice versa. So you might not be that smart, but you can learn other things.
Kat, someone could be physically unattractive and like work his way into you liking him because he's intelligent. Is that possible?
Yes.
I guess it depends on what you mean by unattractive.
Like,
I feel like I need an example.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be tough to say, but like
Ron Jeremy.
Because I feel like what I find attractive might not be the same for other people.
You say you're in a new relationship.
Because I would consider
all
most
girls find different things attractive.
Well, your level of attractiveness.
Girls
is
are way
not
more
ours.
picky than men are.
I feel like
attraction.
The majority of guys I've dated have been attractive to me, but I don't know if that means that they were physically attractive.
Oh, got it.
It
Okay.
matters your opinion, what you find attractive.
How about you? How about you, Maya? Maya, has a guy ever been physically unattractive to you and talked his way into you finding him attractive?
Okay, I couldn't be with somebody who I find completely unattractive.
Okay.
But just normal, basic looking guy, I'd much rather him be someone I could have a conversation with. I also wanted to be somebody I could learn from. And most importantly, what I look for is somebody who I could look up to and respect.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like an average looking guy would be fine. An
Okay.
absolute like unattractive guy, no, there's no way.
Maybe not.
I think we need like picture references.
My roster is fucking hideous. Just so you guys know, like my
She's got a roster.
roster.
Yeah, my roster's fucking disgusting.
no.
Like I date very
Not the
unattractive
roster.
guys.
Oh,
I'm just imagining like the
hell.
creepy Middle Eastern guy that tries to talk to you at the airport.
We're not
Like,
sorry, so no.
But if he's funny and he's smart, oh my god,
I don't
panties
care
off.
how much money he
Then
gets.
he's on the roster.
I agree with you on that
You're
one.
adding him to the baseball team.
Oh no, bro. Also, like the way somebody
Lord.
smells, like has a lot to do with it.
Oh,
like,
no,
if
yes,
a motherfucker
yes.
smells
She's
bad, like if their hygiene is not good, I'm like,
Yeah,
goodbye.
smell is
Like,
I got
obviously, you
a
can't even
follow up
take care of
question here.
yourself.
The reason I'm asking this, of course, is because fertility and sexual, like reproductive opportunities and sex, right, is negatively correlated with intelligence for men. So, like the smart, like there's a point where you're like too smart for your
at a
own
point,
dick,
yes.
basically.
So basically, what he's saying is there's a study that shows if you have an IQ under 80, you have a higher chance of having sex than having an IQ over 130.
Yeah, if you're like 120
You talk about the room temperature IQs.
Room temperature
They have a better chance.
Yes, because room temperature IQs
I
tend
know
to
why.
they don't worry
Hell
about
no.
because they don't worry about what other people think about them. They have more they actually have more confidence. They just walk up and they don't overthink things. They don't take pickup seminars. That's why they're better at fucking that's why they're better at talking to women.
So I got a
Also,
follow up
when you
question
let-
for Gemini Barbie because she just said that she was going to go to you're going to like get in vitro fertilization.
my
or-
backup
That
plan,
was
yes.
it was a thought in your head. Now,
it's
if you were at the
definitely
just like here's a scenario, you're at the clinic. And you're going, who's the likely candidate here? And you have to choose from all these guys. And there's a hot guy who's like looks like he's an athlete. He's built. He's got everything. But then there's a guy who's got an IQ of 160. He's not as hot as the other guy, but the other guy is like hella smart. He's like 106. He's like genius, close, gifted level of intelligence. Who are you selecting? You're selecting the hot guy, or are you selecting the very super smart guy?
Well, so
You're not having sex with them. You're just going to reproduce with them.
So this is what honestly that I would look for. Yes, intelligence. If somebody, whatever, and obviously anybody could go to a school and graduate from a school if you just work hard enough. But if I'm gonna have a child with somebody, I want like facial features. Like I'm gonna be in a sense slightly shallow. I personally have green eyes. I don't think I would want somebody that has brown eyes. Nothing against anybody with brown eyes, but I don't want to lose.
No, we're
my
offended.
green
We're all
eyes.
offended. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I need
The
to-
95% of the population that has brown
I would
eyes.
fuck someone with green eyes too. I'd be like, I hope my baby come out with green eyes.
But I want somebody that has a good bone, genetic structure, everything like that. Like I don't want to go. Oh, my baby daddy gonna be 5'2". Not sorry. Like that's
All right, here we go.
not happening.
So height plays a factor into it, huh?
Dr. Kylie, Dr. Kylie, let's talk about this.
But I said at the end of the day, I mean, I know people who are smart and who are good looking. So you know, it doesn't anybody. I don't know,
So you're trying to find the perfect package. We understand that, but selectively speaking, are you looking for the guy who's more physically impressive or the guy who's more mentally impressive?
physically. Yeah.
Wait, is this just her sperm donor?
Yes.
I would
Gosh.
honestly then say physically because I could teach my child to be smart.
But you can't though, because what if they have
So-
like?
so
You realize all of that's based on genetics,
no,
right?
You can teach your child things. You can't teach them
you
to be
can't
smart.
teach
Go ahead,
them,
Kylie.
like street smarts. You know how
Oh,
like
that's
sometimes
different.
they're
You can give your child
sometimes
experiences, and you can teach them procedures and techniques.
The chat
but
is-
you
the
can't
chat's
make them,
getting ugly.
You can't make children
getting
smart.
ugly.
Genetics is heritable. Genetics is heritable.
They said you
Go
got
ahead.
3 eggs left. You better choose quick.
Time out. Kylie, Dr. Kylie, what did you want to say about this? She was talking about bone structure, intelligence, that kind of thing, and you were shaking your head.
Go.
Yeah, it's if I was in her shoes, I would do the physical appearance. Like for men and women, men and women, and men too, men and women. If you are more attractive in this world, it is gonna be just a lot easier for you.
Thank you for explaining the sexy sons theory. Bravo.
I'm just sorry. I don't want
So,
a
like-
child. I don't.
If they're attractive,
Do you want to have a child with Kylie?
I think she's gorgeous.
Yeah, you'd have a child. Okay,
But unfortunately, our chromosomes
we can't
don't match that way,
mix.
You know?
So
Not yet.
not yet.
we're fucked. Sorry. We'll try again in 20 years.
It won't even be 20 years. There's actually books about this.
But I'm already looking at freezing my eggs for this year, so I'm already way ahead of the schedule.
But you understand IVF's like we're talking $200,000. Like that's what it could end up being. Yeah,
It depends.
It's pretty
freeze
expensive.
the egg and then go from there. Yeah, but
Yeah.
It's a month on OnlyFans.
it's my backup plan. If
That's
I
a
don't
month-
happen
that's
to
a month
find
on
somebody,
OnlyFans.
then it's my plan B.
Okay, cool. If somebody's out there in the chat and was looking to try to get on Gemini Barbie's level, and you want to,
gotta have good bone structure.
By the way, you have a podcast on fucking football,
Yes.
and you haven't invited me,
Well,
motherfucker.
I told you about it just
Are you
recently.
kidding me?
You play football?
No, I'm just like, there's no one. You don't know 3 people on this planet who know more about the NFL
This
than
man
me.
knows
Well, then
everything
please
about
come on. I
football.
would love to have somebody.
Cool.
I'll set up
That's
somebody.
4.5 hours if we
So
do
what
it.
you both said is
Sure.
actually the most common answer, by the way. Women will select
Yeah.
physical prowess
I
before
was
they
gonna-
will
I
believe it.
select for
I was gonna
intelligence.
say though, like if you're looking at that on paper, like me personally, what I look at is like a person that I want to have as a father of my children, whether it be because I have to do in vitro too because I can't have babies. So if I had to make that selection, I would still want to get to know that person because there's a lot of like dumbass things that people do that isn't on paper. Like me and my dad have a lot of the similarities, and it's like we like to put our hands in our pants, like, and I do this and I lean back or some shit, like, or like.
Well, it was
I'm
two
rude
different
and
scenarios. That was two different scenarios. Not somebody you want to
no.
actually like raise a child with. Yeah, it'd be a little different. I'm sure
No,
that
it's
then the answer would
because I'm
change
like,
just
what
smart,
because they're
intelligence.
just like your parents. Just like your parents, you have the same personalities as your parents. So sometimes sometimes people are genetically rude.
Isn't there like a
Parts
study
of-
on
there is
who
actually.
you're
It's-
who you are surrounded by and who you choose to surround yourself with? That is how you
Not
tend to
necessarily
act.
because a lot of kids that are adopted, a
developmental
lot of kids
years.
that get put into adoption, you when you put the parent and the kid together again, they are so much alike. So that's
genetics. Yeah,
it's genetics.
So it's mostly genetic. Like if you were to look at like how children, parents hate
I
this.
got that right
Parents
here.
hate this study, but it's true. If you were to look at like the overall proclivities of what happens to a kid, and I'm going to get this number wrong, but the one I do remember is parenting was 7%. The cohort, like the children that they hung around, was something like 20%, and the rest of it was genetics.
Yes.
That was the reason why. People do not want, when it comes to height, eye color, hair color, and skin color, nobody has any problem with the concept of genetics. But when it comes to intelligence and temperament, everyone's like,
everybody
no,
loses their fucking
no.
mind.
I just
Intelligence is genetic.
I meditated, and it was like this, and my chakras were open.
was in the right
And I used the quantum field to increase my intelligence. No, motherfucker, it's genetic. Just like my brown hair, my intelligence is genetic. And people have such a hard time with that.
It's a
because why?
it's a 4 laws of behavioral genetics.
Yes.
The first one is all traits are partially heritable.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even, and by the way, even behavioral traits such as I did this with my dad. That
Yes.
there's a possibility that there's a combination of genes that you both share that predisposes you to do shit like that.
interesting.
Okay. Second law is the
I did
effect.
psychology for 2
The
years
effect
and
of the genes is larger than the effect of the shared environment. It's not that environment is like conditioning is important, but it is not as important as the genetic, like the building blocks that are already there. There's a lot of the variance in behavioral traits isn't attributable to either genes or the shared environment. So there's all got to take that into effect. And then the last one is most complex traits, such as the one you're talking about, are shaped by many genes of small effect. So
Yes.
it could be just like a lot of things create one behavioral effect. So.
Yeah, so people, whenever I talk about the genetic thing, they're like, oh, no, that's not possible. The fact that this person's a sociopath, that this person has high intelligence, that can't possibly be genetic. Where do we see that in the genome? And it's like, no, it's all over the place. But we understand that's the case. If you've ever seen ants build an ant colony, you know that there's intelligence that's genetic. If you've ever seen a deer come out of its baby's womb and immediately be able to walk, you understand that intelligence is genetic. It's so obvious.
Yeah, it's a kosher
You know what's
species.
genetic too? Things like suicide, schizophrenia.
Oh no, schizophrenia. Okay, suicide
is genetic.
Depression.
No. The proclivities to commit self-deletion are genetic, but the actual self-deletion itself is not genetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Murder
Is not genetic. The proclivities to commit murder are genetic.
So
Yeah.
let me, while we're on this topic, do any of you, well, you already have children, so I already know the answer for you, but do you want to have children in the future, and do you want to live some sort of domestic life with a guy? at some point? You want to get married, basically.
I would
and have
love
kids.
to have kids. I cannot have kids, and I've accepted it. So
Because you laugh too hard? Because from your comedian?
basically,
While laughing, you laughed your uterus off?
I
Is that what
laughed my
happened?
pussy broken.
Is that what happened? Okay.
So basically, so I know.
Come on, bro.
Marriage isn't really like the most. I guess like it's.
If you guys will put a 1 in the chat if you want to
wanna
marry
ask Maya, too.
Marry Lana.
Maya,
don't fucking
is it
marry
important
me.
to
I'm a
you?
fucking headache, though.
You seem like you seem like it's something that's on the schedule.
Ready?
Something on the menu.
Schedule. So you're 21 now. marriage, kids, do you have a schedule for that?
No, I don't have a schedule, but I definitely do one day want to have kids and have a family because I do enjoy, the relationship of being with somebody and being a best friend with someone and spending life with them. I think that's a really beautiful idea. And also I feel like I have to have my own kids because of the relationship I have with my mom.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good example.
Do you have
I know
brothers
her
and
mother.
sisters?
She's great.
Yeah, I have
How many?
brothers.
2 brothers?
Yeah.
Are you the youngest or?
I am. So my brothers are twins. They're 10 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, Gemini knows my mom.
Her mom she's literally, no joke, a mini me of her mother. And her mother is super nice. So it's really funny how much she looks like her
It's
mother.
interesting. It's almost like genetics.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly. No,
Crazy.
like, she looks legit like a mini me. I mean, I don't look like a
we
mini
make
me.
the same facial expressions.
It's funny.
You could put us in separate rooms and we will have the exact same answer. Like, I definitely believe that would be genetic.
Yeah.
We're very similar.
Kat, do you want to have kids, get married?
Yes, I want one kid, and I am looking for a life partner. I have accepted I might not find who I'm looking for, so
Why not?
my
Why not?
backup plan is also
Why
to
don't
just
Why don't
have
you
a
think
kid
you're going
on
to find
my
who you're
own.
looking for? Why
That's
don't
a
you think?
follow-up
It's not that I think I'm
question.
not going to. It's
Okay.
that I'm prepared to not. I have a backup plan.
Like here's
Freezer eggs.
here's what I would say. I feel like you are really invested
Turkey
in
baster.
like this one area. Like you're a DJ, goth, like that whole thing, and it's going to make you very attractive to this one group and like in genuinely attractive, and then the rest of it, like some guys will be like, I don't know if I want tattoos all up and down my arm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, having tattoos makes it significantly harder to
I don't know,
date.
but easier with some guys. Easier with some guys and harder with other guys.
I could see that. But
Yeah, but you're a dude, Glenn. You're a man. Tattoos on a man actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard to
tattoos.
fuck a man. It's hard to date a man.
Thank you, boy. That's a clip. Hey, TikTok. TikTok.
Mark that.
That's
Mark
a good
that.
one.
Okay, so do you understand that? Let's bring up what she just said. This is probably one of the biggest problems. So for men, we were talking about male delusion. Here's where female delusion comes in, and it is the idea that you had sex with a NBA athlete, you had sex with a famous DJ, you had sex with an actor, you had sex with a famous country singer, and then maybe you had sex with them again whenever they came through town, and you started telling your friends you were dating him. You're dating him, but of course everyone knows you're not dating him. He has a wife back home and whatever, and you start believing that because in your mind you attribute this athlete, artist, whoever, musician as a 10, you start thinking that your value as a woman is a 10 also, and now every guy that you meet that is not Drake, every guy that you meet that is not Drake now has to compare to him. And now what happens is when the guy that you're dating who is in your league, when he doesn't match up, then all of a sudden, and Drake comes back in town and be like, hey, yo, let's meet up. Then you whoop, and next thing you know, you're off with Blake Griffin, you're off with fucking Nick Cannon, you're off doing whatever it is that you're doing, because what happens for a lot of women is the thing you just said they don't understand. Because they can fuck a guy does not mean they can keep a guy. And it's so sad when I watch some of my friends, they get into their 30s and 40s and they legitimately tell me that they were dating someone. And I'm like, you weren't dating that person. I've literally been to his house with his wife and kids. That you were never dating him. You had sex with him 3 times, maybe, and he told no one about it. And, ladies, have you ever seen this? Have you ever?
100%.
Yeah.
Been
It's
there.
the opposite way where guys will do that too. They'll act like this has happened to me. Like I'll literally be nice to a guy, and then they're like, "Oh my god, we're talking now," and I'm like,
Yep.
"No, I smiled and waved at you, and that was the
Right.
last
It's happened
day
to
I
me
was
too.
ever nice to another man again."
This
Like,
guy
that
one
was
time
it.
told me, he
Ruined
was
it
like,
for everybody.
He was like, "You're my ex-girlfriend."
I've
I
seen
was
it
like,
the opposite way a
"Since
lot."
when am I your ex?" And he was like, "I told my mom about you.
Oh, no.
You're my ex." I was
all
like,
because you said hi. Like,
Just,
that's it.
bro.
That's all it takes, man. I'm like,
well, I fucked him, but he told his mom.
but you know, I fucked him though. Shrug emoji.
No.
Shrug emoji. But I fucked him though.
I fucked him, but we weren't dating.
But we
I
weren't
was like,
dating.
You're just that guy.
I didn't kiss him when we had sex. Shrug emoji.
That's the thing, though.
All right, ready? Here we go. I know it is.
You don't kiss
Okay,
motherfuckers
so
unless you like 'em.
listen. Rita is an artist. I just want to let you guys know. Rita is an artist. Rita tells stories. Rita tells the most incredible stories I've ever heard. And, and so first off, Rita, let me ask you something. But before we get into it, your overall belief about like dating in Las Vegas, what are the difficulties of it? Well, but you've said before, because I'm just compared to what I've heard some of the other girls say, it's safe to say you have a bit more pessimistic belief on like eternal love. And why is that? Where does that come from?
I mean, okay, so I've been like in a couple of long-term relationships, and like it was great. Like, I mean, having somebody there all the time and like building that bond, like it's great.
Did you live
it's
with
not
him?
great. Yeah. And then once I became single, I realized.
How'd you become single? What happened there?
Basically, they just could not handle my lifestyle. We had a business together. Things like kind of fell apart, and then I started modeling. I was making more money. I was kind of like the more dominant one.
You've been married before.
Yeah. So
yeah, she's been married.
I was
How long were you married?
For 4 years.
Yeah. Wow. Good
to a guy in the military, and it was just things just changed, and I realized that I was better off on my own, and I could be my own husband. Like, what do I need him for?
You became the man you wanted to marry.
The man I wanted to marry, and now I just do whatever I want, and whatever makes me happy, I do that, and what of it?
Rita, no one's judging you, because certainly not me, because I think you tell the best stories I've ever heard. Do you think about long-term consequences, short-term consequences, or you just do whatever it feels right in the moment?
Well, at this point, since I've had long-term relationships, I no longer desire that.
Okay.
So I don't.
And you said you don't want kids. You mentioned earlier you don't want kids.
I have no desire to have children. I want to be on my own.
Okay. Have you ever had a situation where you went out with a dude and he was very disappointing, and then you went and saw someone else? Has that ever happened?
Of course.
Do you want to tell the story and then have Kylie do backup?
You go out with a guy and let's say they nut in 4 strokes. It's
hold on, wait, hold on. Where are you doing this? Where's he?
In a car in a parking garage.
Start over.
You're fucking. No, I thought we were just talking about a date, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna go hang out with another guy.
I don't go on dates. I don't go on dates unless I'm getting paid for it. Okay.
Oh, you don't go on dates unless you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? So let's start over. So
really,
you meet up with a dude. What happens?
Gotcha, bitch.
What? For a date or for fucking?
No, this specific story. This specific story you're telling.
Okay, so let's say I meet up with this dude and we fuck and they last for 4 fucking strokes. Obviously, I still need to be satisfied.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Okay, on to the next one. Who was the next one? Oh, you don't want to talk about it. Okay, got it.
Not
this
the
is
whole.
a hypothetical.
Be his best friend. I don't give a fuck.
It could be his best friend. So if the guy doesn't satisfy you, you might hypothetically move on to his hypothetical.
I mean, you're fucking homies in my DMs. What do you want me to do about it?
Moral to the story: if you're not gonna do it, your homie will.
Ladies, has that ever happened? Can you guys, ladies, has that ever happened to you where a guy just didn't satisfy you on a date and then you hung out with his homie? Please go ahead.
Not the homie.
So it didn't satisfy you on your date, so you call some other dude.
But I didn't. No. But to be fair, no judgment at all. But I'm I fucked somebody, but now I was now I want to go home, but I don't really want to go home, so I go hang out with someone else, but I didn't fuck them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so no.
That sounds like you're a quitter to me. All right, go ahead.
I was just
Teresa.
gonna say, maybe I am the Gemini, but I'm definitely one of those spiteful bitches. If you do me wrong, I will go fuck your friend who's been hitting me up.
Doing you wrong? Yes.
You did some crazy ass shit and you did some whatever. Oh, what's that? Oh, your homeboy's been hitting me up?
Right.
Have sex with your homeboy.
Teresa, has that actually happened to you before?
Of course.
Can you describe a situation where maybe that happened?
Well, I basically there's a few times in my life that I would say I've dated somebody and they really had pissed me off and we weren't together anymore. And then as soon as we weren't together, I went and got slept with their friend, which I probably honestly would have never
These hoes
slept
ain't loyal.
with. Well, it was when we were together.
Why the
Because
fuck
they did me
would you
so
be?
wrong. But it was after the fact, and honestly, it's probably somebody I wouldn't have slept with had that person not done me
Dude,
wrong.
a guy, guys, think about this. A guy got laid out of spite. He was below the standards and got laid because he was homies with. You need motherfuckers to stay away from me. I'm not friends with any of you dudes. Stay the fuck away. All right, here we go. Rita, have you had a situation like that happen?
I feel like I need to protect you from all of this. No.
Where I was with a dude and he didn't treat me right, so I fucked his best friend.
Yeah, has that ever happened?
We just told the story.
How else
That was
do you
hypothetical.
meet other
That was
guys?
hypothetical.
Sometimes you see the guy you're with, and then you see his homie, and you're like, damn, he's fucking hot. I fucked up, bro. Yeah, I was it takes one time pissing me off, and I'm a fucking friend. See, goodbye.
I homie hopped one time and I regretted it.
Why did you regret homie hopping?
To be fair, he doesn't even know. But
he knows now.
No, and they won't even know now because they won't even know which one I'm talking about.
There's that many. There's that many.
There's oh yeah, my body.
They want to give girls so much shit about homie hopping, but it's bro,
I homie hopped
give them the chance.
Women can fuck whoever the fuck they
same?
want. So if I see somebody I want to fuck, whether it's your friend or not, everybody's fair game.
Nice.
Sorry about it.
Hold on. If you guys want to be fair game, write fair game in the chat. Write fair game in the chat. Look up Rita Marie on Instagram. Rita, do you like dick pics? Everyone send their dick pics to Lana and Rita.
You have to pay me to look at your dick pics, all right?
You have to pay Rita to take a piss.
Okay, so now let's go. So I thought about this last time when Lindsay was on last time, and she talked about her box. Do you guys remember the box?
Oh, yeah.
She's sucking 7 dicks at the one time.
Pussy box.
Oh, cock box.
I know
The
many
cock
things.
box.
Okay, the
I
cock
live
box.
with
You know about the
Lindsay,
cock box. Okay,
yes.
so you happen to
Register
live.
trademark.
You want to know
Tomasi.
something? I had-
You the other day at the house.
Oh, you were
We
there.
were talking about you starting.
I had no idea that you lived with Lindsay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I
so-
don't ever want to see that, but I want to trademark it.
It's a box. She wants.
the cock box?
So she, you know a glory hole. You know what glory holes are.
Yeah.
But a glory hole with 7 holes all around
in a
her,
box.
and then,
not
but she's in a
kidding.
box.
And they
and she
all
has
come
to,
at the same
She has to
time?
suck all of them off. Yeah.
She's not kidding.
Oh, but her friends in there with her too. So there's 2 girls.
They're tag teaming.
She would want me to be
So
in
it's
with
3.5.
Yeah.
Maya, what do you think about all
Shit
this?
like that.
No, just say no. You
A
know,
lot of
I really don't.
Just say
for your future husband. Tell your future husband you don't want anything to do with this.
I don't want.
I
You don't want anything to do with this. Good.
I've
All
never
right.
even heard of anything like
Cool.
this.
It's better off not
That's
knowing
good.
about the cock
Yeah, it's
box.
good. She's good. She's going up a score. All right, so now I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions because we had this incredible debate between Rita and Tristan, and the debate had to do with a couple of things. So here's the first thing. Ladies,
Here we go.
have you ever, please raise your hand, if you ever fantasized about having sex with 2 men at the same time? Ladies, if you ever fantasized about having sex with 2 men at the same time?
Does it
no?
sound like a
okay, you
good
three, the
idea?
3 of you.
That's
Hold on,
too
before
much
you go.
dick in a room,
Okay,
bro.
cool. Now, hold on. Here's the next question.
By the end of this show, we're going to decide whether she's wife material or not. So
Okay,
just
right, here we go.
for the chat.
Here we go.
She is. We already decided. She's wearing white already.
I'm going to.
She looks like a bride as it is.
There's a barrier right here.
I thought you were breaking up with me. I didn't know what was going on. That was good. She's just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's going to the bathroom, guys. She's just going to the bathroom. All right, go. So here's the thing, guys. So now, of the 3 of you who said yes, do you plan on in your future, at some point in your life, to have sex with 2 guys at the same time? Raise your hand.
Nice.
So
Yes?
here's my thing. I just don't know if I would want some DP. Like, I don't know.
No,
if
no
I-
DP.
it doesn't
No,
have
hold
to
on.
be
You would get to
DP.
choose. Well, tell me. Listen to her because she'll instruct them. She's written the handbook for this. She's written the handbook for this.
She's the new age Brittany Renner.
So Gemini, real
don't
quick,
get it.
you would get to choose. So go ahead and explain it, Rita.
You don't have to do DP. Like, you can be like sucking one of their dicks.
Yeah, I
and,
would
like,
do
the
that
other one's
maybe,
fucking
if
you.
anything.
That's Eiffel Tower basic shit. Y'all should fucking know this. I shouldn't have to explain the Eiffel
People
Tower.
at home playing the home game.
But
Okay.
What's the Eiffel Tower?
Okay, so no, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say the next part.
Okay.
Hold on, go ahead. Lana?
When you DP, do the balls touch?
Yes.
That's gay as fuck.
Okay, so here we go. You
I've
just
never-
said. There we go.
I've
Look
never
at Tristan.
done
Look at Tristan. Here we go. So here's the next thing.
But
Rita.
I've never done DP.
Rita. So here's what we're going to do the next thing. I want the guys in the chat to say this. So here's the thing. You either put a 1 if you agree with this concept, or a 2 if you disagree with this concept. And here's the other thing.
Nasty.
If you don't want to
is
do,
nasty,
if you don't
right?
want,
Isn't it nasty?
Hold on. If you don't want to fully agree with it and you want to say it's a certain percentage, like it's 50%, that's also, you can put like 50%, 30%, whatever. 2 men who actively want to have sex with the same woman at the same time, does that make them gay? That is the question.
There's only gay if there's eye contact and physical touch.
Only
Okay.
if they're touching each other.
If they're
Otherwise,
touching
it's all
each
about
other.
the
If you guys
woman.
want to
What
write
the
qualifiers in the chat, you can. Guys in the chat, does you
But a
2
high
men
five,
2
a
men
high five is different.
so 2
That's
men
like, hey, we're
That high five
fucking this bitch.
choosing to have sex with a girl at the same time. 2 men choosing to have sex with a girl at the same time. Does that make these men gay? Tristan, you think it is 100% gay? Okay, cool. If you think it's like 30% gay or 50% gay, you can write that in the chat. 1 if you believe that they're gay. 2 if you believe that they're not gay.
I don't think it makes them gay.
I don't think it makes them gay.
It does not make them gay. They're both
But it makes
pleasing
them
one woman.
Trying to just fuck a
for
woman,
sure.
not each other.
They're both fucking pleasing one woman.
Well, it's the same thing.
Not necessarily.
For me, if I was to have a threesome
Like,
with
they
a guy
say-
and a girl, I'd have to be a little bit bisexual to do that. If I was completely
But you're
straight, I
you're
wouldn't do
typically
that.
touching the girl, you know. But like
I've had a
like the
threesome.
guys shouldn't be touching each other if they're not.
Hold on, wait,
You know
time
what
out. Let's look in the chat. There's okay, now all the 1s are coming in. There were a lot of 2s initially, right? There were a lot of 2s, but like 1 if you think that is gay, 2 if you think it's not gay. No judgment for gay people. Love gay people. That's not the issue. The issue is, is that a describer of homosexual behavior, having 2 men decide to have sex with 2 men,
don't
two
know.
women,
How
or
is
women at the same
Gay
time?
if
I
they're
don't
both
think
fucking a
spectrum.
woman.
Huh?
They're both
Spectrum, you're not
fucking
gay
a
or
woman.
straight.
How is that
There's a
gay?
spectrum on it.
How is that gay if they're both fucking
Anybody
a
else
woman?
have an opinion on this? Because you said if the balls touch, that's
If
gay.
the balls touch or if they make eye contact, it's gay.
Maya, what do you think?
Okay, so
Guys, everybody quiet.
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 If they're like,
Quiet. Maya, go ahead.
I think the conversation on how that would start would come off as gay. So you come up to a friend or something, and you're like, "Hey, bro, what if we saw each other naked?"
Like I'm the one initiating it typically, so
okay, if
Nice.
that's not gay, right?
Different, but I would say it's probably a little
kinky.
gay.
Okay, so here's what I think. I think it's gay unless the dudes are super desperate. That's it. That's what the way I would say it. If dudes like have no other options and like they get to hook up with like their favorite porn star and like the only way for them to do it is this, that's not like maybe they just like close their eyes and like squint really hard. Maybe that's not gay. I do think it's so outside of my nature and most of my guy friends' nature who are heterosexual men to want to do something like this. This is not something we do. It's something we would tolerate.
What
It's
about
something
a
we would
foursome?
tolerate. Huh?
What about a foursome?
Again, I would have a serious problem seeing the mother of my children having sex with some other dude.
That is exactly my problem with
Yeah.
it. Is I feel like I don't want to, and this is for me personally. I don't care what anybody else does,
Yeah.
but for me personally, I can't have sex with somebody unless I feel like they have earned my respect and I respect them, and it's like
There it is.
it's a relationship that I'm in, and in which case I would not want that person to feel like they want to see me with somebody else. I would
think
want to feel
yeah.
respected by them, and I would want to respect them as well, and that's something that I brought up a few times on here.
What if I like both of them?
But wait,
Marriage material
What
confirmed.
if you said the guys are gay if they get with a girl, or is a woman gay?
So
if they
now
get
here we
with
go to
another
the next
girl?
question. Since we're done with this, thank you, Gemini Barbie.
wouldn't
The
think
next,
so.
the next question. Actually, we're going to wait a second. We'll talk about this because I want to wait till Kylie gets back because I want her to answer this too. But one of these situations is again, it's not. I'm not trying to make a judgment. Gay is not bad,
No,
but I just think
exactly.
gay is gay,
gay.
and I just think it's like not normal. So here's the difference. By the way, I'm gonna skip ahead. Our heterosexuality is tied to our masculinity as men. Not to say that gay men can't be
Okay.
some gay men can be masculine too, but for the most part, our heterosexuality is tied to our masculinity. Your heterosexuality is not tied to your femininity. What I mean by that
makes
is,
sense.
if we go to your birthday party, Teresa, and we're hanging out, and you're completely straight, and all of a sudden one of your female friend goes, "I love you, Teresa," and kisses you on the lips,
Normal.
no one is going to care. If you're hanging out, hold on. If Teresa gets a new boob job, and the girls come up and like, "Oh, I'm going to play with Teresa's boobies," no one's like, "That is so weird. You're fired from your job. I can't fucking believe you did that."
So normal,
But
yeah.
if somebody came and kissed me at my fucking birthday party that was a dude, he's catching a left hook next. There's no fucking way. And I'm not homophobic. I'm just saying, like, there's no, like, it's my heterosexuality is tied to my masculinity, where for women, your heterosexuality is not tied to your femininity.
Now, I would say I completely agree because honestly, I've never had a threesome with two guys because I don't think any dude I've ever personally dated would ever have that guy. in their
Interesting.
second.
What an interesting
Yeah.
concept, Rita. What an interesting fucking concept. No guy that she would ever date would ever allow something like that to happen. And the thing is allow. Like if I am in such a terrible situation where like I am so desperate to keep you, then that is the only reason I can see any man hypothetically allowing for something like that to happen who isn't gay. And if he's gay, it sounds like a fun time. It sounds like a fun Saturday night.
I think that like it makes them gay. Like if they're not like interacting with each other sexually, and they're both like
Yeah, but you're still in the
pleasing a
same room.
woman.
Like I don't.
But like
you
there's
know what
people
a
that have, like,
cuckold
sex
is, right?
parties.
Okay, go ahead, explain to it. I do, but go ahead, explain.
Like literally have sex parties and
cuckold
dicks are
is-
everywhere, and that's not gay. To go to like a swingers party.
I think it kind of is actually. Go ahead.
Is it?
But
I
a
don't
cuckold
know.
is
That's
someone who
your
likes
opinion.
to see someone fuck their girl.
Uh-huh.
That's not necessarily joining in, but
Right.
they definitely like to watch live porn.
Do you think that's exceptionally masculine to watch someone else have sex with your girl?
Nasty.
Yeah.
You think that is masculine?
A lot of guys are
No.
fucking horny. They'd be like, yeah, fuck the
me,
shit out of my girl. I just
no.
want to watch
Time
live porn.
Live porn.
Maya,
That's
go.
what I said the other day. Live
It's live
porn, bro.
Quiet. Maya, go.
To me, a masculine guy is going to be a little possessive.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of a
Thank
guy,
you.
right? When you're looking at like, way back when, is protect the clan, protect the family.
Yep.
You want to protect your wife. You don't want to see,
Yep.
her with another guy. Right? It's your job to be protective over her, to take care of her. And
I
that's not
agree.
taking care of
Okay,
your
so
girl.
what happens when you get bored? You can't act like people don't get bored. It's like the 7-year itch.
exciting.
There's
are
this thing called the
2023.
7-year itch for a reason. At 7 years, you start getting bored.
I'll tell you what. In porn, because the vast majority, exceeding 95% of porn is watched by men, even gay and straight men. those men imagine that they are not the cuck but the bull. That's the reason why it's a little different. Again, if you want another example, watch first-person shooters, Grand Theft Auto, or watch Call of Duty. We imagine we're the guy with the gun. It's the same thing, but with porn. That's why it's different than watching our wife get cucked. Like getting cucked while watching our wife have sex with someone else. That is a completely different thing than watching porn.
No, it's psychology because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who there's a lot of people who grew up watching porn and they have this unrealistic views of what porn or what sex is supposed to be.
I don't think porn makes you a cuck.
Yes, it does.
But they like watching their wife getting
yes, it does. Because there's a lot of people that grow up watching porn so that when they actually start having sex, they're like, this isn't as good as me just watching it and just jacking off. A lot of people are like that.
I don't know. Glenn, I disagree.
Just because you don't know and don't just because you don't know and disagree doesn't mean it's not a thing.
Okay, here's the thing. I will tell you as far as porn is concerned, I used to be a military officer stuck in the Middle East for 6 months at a time.
You fucked other guys.
So maybe
they always fuck each other.
Frank Castle. Frank Castle, get the fuck off here. Frank Castle.
I have an interesting thing though. So I have definitely watched porn, and I've watched both threesomes with girls and threesomes with guys. And I think it's interesting that I've watched a lot of threesomes that were with 2 guys and 1 girl, where it's a lot of people in Europe. It seems to be like a normal thing in Europe. I swear to God, if you look at it and go watch some porn with
you know why?
Stay here.
You want to know why?
In the States where it's safe.
Or let's go to Europe.
Hell yeah.
You want to know why?
He's gonna stay here. Let's go to Europe.
You want to know why? Because the Nazis killed all the real men. That's the reason why. That's what's left over in Europe. That's what's left over in Europe. That's what's left over in Europe.
Over there.
You want the real men? Come to Texas. All right, here we go. The other thing. So let's ask the opposite question. Let's ask the opposite question. All right, ladies, have you at any time ever fantasized being with a man and a woman at the same time?
Done
Anybody?
it. Been there. I fuck couples.
Been there, done that.
Okay, cool. If you believe in your future at some point you may have sex with a man or a woman at the same man and a woman at the same time.
You mean a threesome with 2 females? Like
No, threesome with a man and a woman.
So, yeah, 1 other female and like a dude.
A couple.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
A
cool.
couple?
Yeah, that is a man and a woman.
I mean, I've had threesomes with chicks.
That's what I mean. Yes, that's what I mean.
I was the dude was my man. And
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So you had another one as a unicorn.
So a couple.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome.
Okay.
So now the question is, Rita, do you think that makes the women bisexual because they would do that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Isn't it interesting how it's very clear in this
but
way?
it's because they're touching each other.
Okay. What if they're not touching
the
each
men
other?
having a threesome, if they're touching each other, okay, yeah, they're like probably bisexual or gay. But if they're not touching each other, they're fucking a woman.
What do you think, Gemini?
No, I've had sex with my man, and then I've had sex with a few girlfriends. Now, one did backfire really wrong.
Why did that backfire?
Because the man went behind my back and had.
Oh, I actually know exactly who this is.
Yeah.
Actually, she's been on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually checked.
That's fucked up.
I checked before I came on to make sure she wasn't on this episode.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I would never speak to her again. I'd rather punch her in the face.
Okay.
But, yeah, so at the end of the day, she went behind my back and got with my man. However...
So you had a threesome and then that's
So it wasn't a positive experience, right?
No, but I have zero... I mean, I think female are gorgeous, and I have, I love a pretty female.
Can I bring something else up? Didn't that dude have some proclivities outside the norm as well?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that everybody has their own poison. So at the end of the day...
No. This dude had specific poison.
He had little interesting things, but I do think people do grow up. It's like,
do you see why the show is different? Because I know this shit. Go ahead.
I don't judge people's past. You know what I mean? If it happened before me, that's one thing. If it happens while I'm with you,
would he have let his balls touch another guy's balls? Is what I'm asking.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm obviously not him. So, but at the end of the day, I don't consider myself bisexual. I would never jump ship for a dude to a female, but it's not ever going to happen.
So I'm going to give a hypothesis here, and that is that for sexuality for men would be, or I'm sorry, sexual preference for men would be more binary, not completely binary, but more binary,
more sexually fluid.
And for women, it would be a spectrum. So because you said you wouldn't jump ship, for me, the 50-yard line for me is, would you go down on another woman? You'll see women who will be like, I have a threesome and won't go down on another woman. The women who won't, I'm going to put them below 50%. Does that make sense? The women who are like, I will actually want to go on a date with a woman with no man there, I'm going to put them at like 80-90%.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
I wouldn't go on a date with a female, but I wouldn't mind having threesome with
maybe you're
female.
like 50-60 60%. That's right. So a spectrum for women, whereas for men it's more binary.
You know what's
Go
funny
ahead.
is like when I hear this question asked on other podcasts as well,
Yeah.
like a lot of the women who are on like say Fresh and Fit or whatever, wherever they're going, they're very open with the fact that they're bisexual or that they're into girls all the time. And I think people get really kind of
Confused?
confused, or like people who are viewers or people who are critics of this think that like that we're just handpicking lesbians, right? Or we're handpicking like bisexual women. And it's like the fact of the matter is like the broad depth of the pool of girls that come on these shows. They always relate that. In fact, proudly so. That's one of the first things that comes out of their mouth.
I would say half the girls we've had on the show said that they would be open to having a threesome with another woman.
And more than a few of them tried to hook up with each other at the end of the show. But no, I mean,
Do I know that person?
No, you don't. Maybe you do. So anyway,
no.
It's not her.
What I'm saying is, it's far more likely that human like men and women are more binary than they are like fluid. Let's just say.
Okay.
Can I say that just because you're willing to have sex with a girl doesn't necessarily make you bisexual?
That's what we just said. It's a
that's what I'm
spectrum.
saying.
It's a
Yeah,
spectrum.
I'm like,
But why isn't it a spectrum with men?
Again, because for men,
Masculinity, I
again,
think.
so here's the thing.
Because
You're
we have
asking-
we have different mating strategies than women.
you're
do.
asking why. What I can kind of maybe give you an answer why, but I can tell you that it's true. And the reason why we know, there's a book called Dataclysm, which was written by the CTO of eHarmony. In the book, they look at bisexual men and bisexual women, meaning they list themselves as bisexual.
Yeah.
The bisexual women, when they listed themselves as bisexual, would message male accounts and they would message female accounts. The bisexual men on the program would message only male accounts, and many of them, like in the high 90s, eventually would change from bisexual to gay. That's the reason.
Bisexuals always like dick more. That's a fact.
They see, it's a stigma. They don't feel comfortable saying
sure.
they're openly gay because it's just been such a fucking problem to
Right.
say that you're gay because everybody looks down on
Not
you.
I don't know. I don't know if everyone looks down on you. I don't know if
Okay,
everyone
not
looks down
anymore,
on you.
but
know.
it used to- literally, it was
More
literally
acceptable.
like gays would be killed. It was illegal. Like shit
Even
was
if
not
a
good
guy
for them.
said he was bi today, you look
You're
down
like, okay,
upon.
you're gay.
Like
I
it's
don't-
like, no, bro, you like dick.
It's
That's
like-
weird. Even
like,
a
you know,
female would
so
be
it's
like,
like-
no, you like dick. That's weird.
I'll do a John
think
Zerga.
that-
Either you suck dick or you don't suck dick. There
Okay,
ain't
so
no
let me finish.
in-between.
Christina, you had something like you had fantasized about being with two a man and a woman.
I've had them, but
Okay.
like it happened to you,
Yeah.
it did backfire. So
No bueno.
you just
Did they hook up with each
I
other?
mean,
Fuck a
being in a
bitch.
relationship and bringing in another woman into that relationship. So, like you said, I just learned unicorn.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Right? How funny
that's
is
a new
that?
term for
Yeah.
me. And to bring in a unicorn is fine because you do want to go your separate ways. You're there just to have fun.
Totally agree.
And-
So you're saying
and then
it
that's
backfired because this guy tried to bring in another person into the relationship.
No, they ended up sleeping behind my back.
Okay, got it.
That's what
Got it.
my
That's
shit.
what always happened.
So now I
Yeah.
did say though, which I did tell him after the fact. I said, "Listen, because I do have obviously hot friends and stuff like that." I said, "You ruined your threesome chances." I said, "The only time we ever will have a threesome in the future is if we find a random bitch on vacation.
Sure.
and you
Random
don't get her
hooker.
in." Oh no hooker.
Yeah,
I don't want no
they're
catch
cleaner
know something. in
They're
the
cleaner
process.
than the bitches that you're just gonna pick up off the street. Let's be real.
But yeah, a random person I pick.
I'm not
you
lying.
get no information, and that's the only other
For
chance
sure.
you're gonna have a threesome.
That's fair.
Otherwise, you fucked your chances.
Totally fair.
But
I actually
that's how it
think
should be.
I think Teresa, though, it has more to do with he was going to do this anyway. I don't think it's because you had a threesome.
But he's
Yeah.
gonna get with her behind my
No,
back.
get with someone.
He was just gonna
He was
cheat
gonna
on
get
you
with someone.
anyway.
I think he was gonna get with
He
someone.
was gonna cheat either way, whether you allowed it or
Yeah,
not.
I don't.
Many shit.
I'm not going to blame it on the threesome. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Right? That's all I would say. Right?
Maya,
Kat?
you're not about that.
Yes.
No. No. Do you have anything to say about it? No. Okay.
Had a threesome?
I made some comments before. No.
I was gonna say it's like you're like straight heterosexual. One guy, one closed on his end, closed on your end.
Yeah, I
Good to
mean,
go?
I think like Gemini said, or you made a comment or something. It's like, oh, when you're out and you're drinking with your friends, it's like for you to kiss your friend.
Normal.
That's not a big deal. That's very normal.
So you would think that was normal even with you, right?
I would think that's
Yeah, I have a friend, Marissa Everhart. She's a model, lives out in Florida.
like your close friend when you're out or something.
She sells yachts, and she told me if a girl ever touched her, kissed her, whatever, she would like be fucking furious. Like she's she's at a zero. She's the first girl I met that's at zero. She's like, I have no interest whatsoever in women touching me. Go ahead, Kat.
What?
Did you say that you would ever fantasize about being with a man and a woman at the same time?
No.
Okay, Lana.
I have a unicorn tattooed on me.
Oh, okay.
I fuck couples all the
There
time.
you go.
But I've been with girls. I've been in a relationship with a woman.
So you're not for the streets. You're for like the cross streets.
I'm for
right. You're for two streets. You're like where the streets
I'm for
intersect.
fun.
There we go. You're for fun.
No. It's a
but
pass
not E for everyone.
No,
but you are for fun. F for fun. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah. I had my past situation, so I was very free, very very young and free. I fucked couples, so I fucked girls, fucked guys. I was with him from 17 to 26. So as soon as I got divorced, I was a wild child, and then now I'm like mellowed out.
Gemini has to leave. Gemini, take care, honey. Are you gonna come meet us? Are you gonna come meet us at Zook? No. Okay. All right. So we'll see you at Zook later. That's code. We'll see you at Zook in a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Message me their Instagram, so I have it.
Okay.
Okay. Check the chat or check the description. All anybody who's watching this, all the girls' Instagrams are in the description. Okay. Beautiful.
Hi, girl.
Awesome. Anybody else? And then we got Maya's answer too. Maya was not cool with that. Okay. Awesome. Do we have any other questions?
No, I'm just gonna say as far as like what? Well, she.
Well, you want to say something? Kylie, you want to say something?
I had a good point on like I don't think that just like men. I think that this is said a lot is like men that are gay or whatever, and they'll say that they're like not masculine. But I can honestly say like I know a lot of gay guys, and like I have some gay guy friends, and I would rather, if I'm gonna like go out to like a bar or a club or something, I would rather go out with my gay guy friend than like my like straight guy friend or something, because like I know that he would be more willing to step in and like help protect me or something if something was gonna happen. If like
the gay guy would.
Yeah, the gay guy would.
But the gay guy would because he's more masculine.
So they can still be masculine.
Because he's more
their
masculine.
Sexual preference.
But he's
like I don't think that just because a guy's gay, they're not masculine.
Right. So what you're saying
anymore.
he's more. But what you're saying is he's more masculine because he's more masculine, not because he's gay or not gay. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people will like put the idea out, or like guys. I hear this a lot from guys. Is guys will say, "Oh, he's gay. He's feminine. He's not masculine. He couldn't protect.
Yeah, it was the whole thing.
No,
it was the whole thing with the Alex Jones thing with the pesticides making the frogs gay because they were changing gender. So first off, just in case anybody who's watching this, there's a bunch of Alex Jones files that are going to watch this. First off, frogs have been able to change gender. Frogs have been able to change gender since before there were even hominids on the planet. But before there were even humans on the planet. Okay, first off. Number two, being able to change gender is not a sexual proclivity. Number three, having low testosterone doesn't make you gay. If you guys have ever been to a trucker bar and seen the fat dude with the big man boobs who like his testosterone's at 0.
What are you doing there?
Huh?
Why are you there?
I was in the U.S. military. I was in the U.S. military.
He was a hooker.
I was in the U.S.
The trucker dude with the big titties. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing there?
Rita, have you ever seen an older fat dude who just like has no testosterone? That doesn't make
got titties.
but they don't turn 75. They don't turn mute everyone. Listen, guys, be quiet. They don't turn 75 and then turn gay because their testosterone's lower.
No, it's their estrogen levels their
estrogen levels go up, but like sexual proclivity and testosterone levels, for some reason, these people who don't understand what they're talking about think that they're the same thing, and they're not. You don't become more gay. Now, the whole thing about trans, that actually there may be some correlation there, but you don't become your testosterone levels don't go lower and then you become gay. That's not a thing. Just so we're clear, okay? I just really annoying when
Michael's
I hear that.
Going to transition. That's what.
I'm going to transition to another subject. That's what we're doing.
All night. You want some titties?
I was going to point out one other thing here is like when we're talking about like there's one thing like if I see Big Mo in Miami and I hug him and I give him a kiss on his bald head, that means that's something else. Like it's me like because I love him like a brother, right?
It's brother, yeah.
But it's another thing if a dude just tries to kiss you full in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Then that's whoa.
Then you're just French. Yeah. At that
exactly.
point.
So I'm just going to point that out. But the other thing is, and maybe this is more to your point too, is like when you see like women are like kissing on each other, they're like they're lipstick lesbians, right? They're just like
That's
having
annoying.
fun together.
I think it's more of like, I don't know, when you're drunk and it's like your best friend and you really love your friend. It's different. It's different than like, I think
and you're on
this
Molly and you're in Mexico.
Well, the reason why that's
like,
more acceptable.
Oh my God, you're here! And you'll like give your friend a kiss or something. I'm not saying like you're making out with them.
That's
But you're
how
not
some
making out
countries
on
say
it.
hi to each other. So,
But you're not making out on an. You're not making out on an.
Yes, and those countries all lost to Germany. Yes, that's my point.
Well, the reason.
Oh,
okay,
all right,
so-
Michael.
so-
Fucking Germany.
So the evolutionary evolutionary reason for this is that if a guy sees two women who are in a state of arousal, that's a double bonus. I can impregnate both of them. So that becomes more socially acceptable because the guy's like, well, she's hot for her, and I'm like a threesome is like every man's fantasy.
Do you want to know something that's even more insidious than that? What about it as a survival strategy when Genghis Khan comes and destroys your village, and then you being with another woman actually is a survival strategy, and that's what those genetics get passed along.
There's a lot of really ugly.
It gets really ugly when you guys. If you guys want to read some really ugly truths, read the
400 kids or something, or like
who Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan?
No, like something like 8%. No,
might be related to him.
Listen, 8%.
Definitely not.
Listen, 8. So do you understand how? Here we go. 8. You guys understand? Men have X and Y chromosome. Women have XX chromosome.
Exactly.
The Y chromosome that is related to Genghis Khan is in 8% of Asian men today.
One in every 200 people.
Yes. 1 in 200 people on the planet. 8% of Asian men on the planet.
Bricked up at all times.
Yes. Bricked up.
Bricked up.
Slut. There will be a time they make whole ass podcasts about that motherfucker was a slut.
I was like, find me
Fuck
10,
that guy.
10 freaky bitches on a yacht right now.
So the other side of this,
now.
the other side of this is that when guys see one of the reasons why guys are far more binary, like you're either gay or you're not gay kind of thing. It's not like no half and half. That's why when Zerka says that Destiny is gay, I'm kind of inclined to believe him. When he was talking about if you're bisexual, you're leaning if you're gonna fuck other girls, okay, but you're still fucking guys. So what that says is, to me, anyways, that's a non-binary position. Most guys are binary. Either it's on or it's off. So when a guy sees another guy wants to come and give you a kiss full in the mouth, that's like, ooh, it kind of gives you the willies. But when you see two chicks kissing together, you're like, all right, all right.
Fake lesbians. Those are attention lesbians.
That's what, but it's like
those
for
are
guys,
girls that are trying to get attention from
for the
dudes.
same guys who would have a problem with a
annoying.
social problem with homosexual men, they don't have a problem with homosexual lesbians.
No one ever has.
Nobody does.
No one has ever had
it funny?
an
Hold
issue.
on.
That's not a social thing. That's an evolutionary bonus.
I've made this point a million times. The problem
I
with
don't care if 2 dudes are making out either.
No, it's because women can't get women pregnant. That's why.
So here's the thing. I've always had a problem with the title LBGT because they're different. What lesbians go through coming out to their family and friends is different than what gay men do coming out to what trans people and different what bisexual people. They're so completely different. Trans men and lesbian women have nothing to do with each other. Unless a lesbian woman becomes trans.
They actually hate each other sometimes.
For real. So I just the reason
they don't want us at the gay bar.
The reason why I bring this up is because sometimes we were looking up demographic information and we can't find any. All the information is on non-binary people. No, I'm just looking up for lesbian women. I can't find information on lesbian women. Just binary people. And it's like they put them all together. And the thing is, if I was one of those letters or numbers, whatever they are, if I was one of them, I would be like, no, I want to be represented individually. I don't want to be in this group and then have AOC, who isn't any of those things, represent me. She's none of those things. You know what I'm saying? And now she's my representative. That doesn't make sense to me. I was saying this before because I was talking to at the very end of the debate with Destiny. I was like, do you think that politically conservative homosexual men will just lead the LBGT community because they're like, we're doctors, lawyers, and firemen just like everyone else. Well, we're tired of being represented by people who are burning down fucking buildings. We don't want to be represented by them. And he was like, I don't know, maybe that could happen. So anyway, you have extremists on all points. But my whole thing is I don't want to be thrown in. It's just I'm part Colombian. If you say Colombians, Venezuelans, and Brazilians are the same, we'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. We're nothing alike. Mexicans, Guatemalans, they're nothing.
Facts. That offends.
They're nothing alike, right?
You asked all of us if we knew 3 countries. Most of us didn't even know that those countries existed.
No, they did. There was only 2 of you who didn't.
I think I was the only dumbass that didn't.
Now you know.
You're talking to the wrong one right now. She didn't even know about these countries earlier.
Nope.
Irrelevant.
I swear I'm educated, but not in that. Fuck.
Y'all all
now that
brown
you know,
people.
and now you all know that Liechtenstein is a country.
Yes.
What the fuck?
And then nobody.
Well, here's the
What are you
question.
licking?
Go ahead.
Women. So I think when
Quiet.
you talk to women about the LGBTQ or gays or whatever lesbians, I feel like we don't really care You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you sit down with a group of women and you start talking about this, it's not really going to be like an issue. We're just like, okay, whatever.
No,
that's
there's
what they
like Christian
Who
women
cares?
care.
There's and there is like a good handful as well, but I feel
Yeah.
like the majority of women, like, it's not really going to be an issue. But like, if you sit down with the majority of men, there's going to be more men that are going to care. Again, there'd be a handful that wouldn't, right? But then there's the majority of men would care more. Like, what is that? Why?
It's
why do
projection.
why do
I
men
don't know.
like care
I've
more?
seen
They're
I've
like,
seen the majority of
"No,
conservatives
gay
care,
men."
the majority of
Like, get really
liberals not
mad.
care. I really don't see it's men or a men or women
You
thing.
don't think so? I feel like you can
I
talk
would-
to
I
girls
would,
all day.
I would
They
argue-
have
I would
friends that are
also-
gay. Guys don't have gay guy. Like a lot
I
of guys
agree.
don't have gay guy
I think you're
friends.
But guy
I think
have
you're
a lot of
halfway there.
lesbian
I think you're
friends.
halfway there. I
What,
think,
but what
and-
is that? Does that what would that?
Come on,
have to
listen,
do with
roll up.
Well, like,
testosterone, or-
okay, and I understand what you're saying. Like from a social, a social perspective, I think you're correct. I think from an evolutionary, like physical perspective, like I don't want to see another dude fucking my wife, right? That is, you say, oh, you're possessive, blah blah blah. That I'm like, no, I like from a physiological, like visceral level. It's like I don't want to worry about whether or not the baby coming out is
that
going to
makes
be
sense to me.
my
That
my
makes
child
sense
or
to me.
not.
But like I'm saying, that's all. That's fine.
That was
That
different.
makes
So-
sense.
So
that's
that doesn't.
different. But
So
I'm saying,
that
like,
doesn't.
if we're
So
out
that
in a
doesn't
club,
come. That doesn't factor into like the fantasy side.
let's
of
say
things
we're
that-
but let's say we're like out in a club and you see two guys kissing. Like
Mm-hmm.
girls aren't going to be sitting there like talking about it or making faces. Like we're not going
No,
to
no,
give
they
a
don't
fuck,
get
right?
freaked
But you'll
out.
see like guys will see two
Well,
guys
because-
kiss in front of them and they're like,
because-
oh my god, we have to stop that.
Like this, they go, like this.
about?
Lana, hold on, they go like this. I can't believe they're kissing.
mad.
Nobody clip this.
Like, what is that about? You know, it's like this-
Why?
there'll
I'm
be
so
straight-
mad about the gays.
There's straight men
I'm
and
so
straight
angry.
women sing the same thing.
Why
That,
are
like
y'all
the
so
straight
fucking
women are
proud?
You would,
women
you
aren't
would think
gonna
you
be
would
that
think
mad
that
about it.
you would think that the attitude would be like, well, that's two more that are out of the sexual marketplace.
Exactly, they should be
Okay,
happy about it. They should be like, yes.
Here's an interesting story for you guys. Here's an interesting story for you. So I used to recruit when Dan Bilzerian would have his Ignite parties, which were by the best parties I've been to in my life. When he would have the parties, it was like 7-1 girls to guys, but there was one group of people that got to the front of the line every time. Do you know what it was? Gay men. Dan loved it when gay dudes came to his party because the girls had more dudes to hang out with, and these guys were not competition. Dan he talks about this all the time. He's like, at these parties, when you have that many women, you should let all the gay dudes come, because they're not competition to you at all. You're right, and that's actually why I think that because homosexuality has to exist somewhere in evolution, and I think that's where it comes from. If you and me are out hunting and we're going to go kill the lion, who do we want staying back with our wives?
The ones that won't fuck them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. They pair up.
They're berry pickers too.
Hold on. But here's the thing.
Damn.
Here's the thing.
Oh, you did.
That's what they call it. It's not my words. I'm repeating what I heard.
But the thing is, but not only that, but they're also going to pair up with another dude who's also not going to have sex with our wife. You see what I'm saying?
I see it.
So that could be the reason. That could be the reason why that
logically I could see how that works. But
in evolution.
But more to your point, like when guys, like if there's a group of guys and a really good-looking guy comes in and he is clearly like he's taller than them, he's better looking than them. Like if he comes in and he walks into a social situation, and one of the ways that guys disqualify other guys is say, well, he's good looking, but guys like that are gay. Like it's a disqualification kind of tactic that guys. And women, on the other hand, if a really hot girl comes into a social situation, she's wearing a red cocktail dress and hoop earrings and everything else, and she's looking good. As soon as that bitch leaves, all these girls go, oh, what a slut. Only a slut would wear stuff like that because they're disqualifying her.
You guys are all sluts.
They're disqualifying her from the consideration of all the guys that would be, oh, you like that? Only sluts would wear something like that.
It makes sense for
That's
guys
true.
to get mad if they see another guy that's like competition, but you have two gay men sitting in front of you just like
I mean, socially,
dating, and they'll just be so angry about it, and they'll just start talking about it.
I don't see a lot of dudes who are angry because there's gay men around. I don't really
all
think
the time. Like, I have like guy friends that will go out and see this, and they'll be like so irritated by it. They'll be like so just irritated by it, and they're like, "This is terrible. This is what are they doing? This is crazy. Like why?" And it's just like what.
But you are
Why is this big of a deal?
Kylie, you are from Southwest Arkansas.
I'm not talking about being in Arkansas, Michael.
Okay.
We didn't have clubs. We didn't have bar. We made our own alcohol. Like no, we didn't have any of this. This wasn't. It took me 2 hours.
So
it took me 2 hours to get to the
back.
nearest hospital.
Right, but you
it took me an hour and a half to get to the nearest grocery store.
Yeah, but you don't
we didn't
think-
have like bars or anything. I'm talking about like Houston, Texas. I'm talking about
Yeah, it's
like,
Houston, Texas. Do you think there's a lot of there's a little bit?
Yeah, there are
a lack of.
There are a lot of
You lived in two
LGBTQ gay, like
what if they're
whatever there
fake gay?
too. They are like there too.
Fake gay,
so, like,
gay. PUA gay game. Okay. Here's something I want to ask, because we do have a pretty wide spectrum of what you guys believe. Maya being on one end and you guys being on the other end of the spectrum. Maya, I'm curious. Do you care about a guy's body count? Is that something that means something to you?
Yes.
So go ahead and get a description. Can you give a low end and a high end for what you would
So
look for?
I think, like we've discussed about before, men think it's important what a woman's body count is,
Yes.
because it shows, is this person going to be loyal towards me?
That's
I
correct.
think is what the study shows. So I believe the same.
God damn,
thing.
you've been watching the show. How did the study show? Which you've been
Well, I
watched?
know this because
Yes.
She's smart and she's young.
That's crazy. How'd you know that? That is correct. There is studies that show that.
Uninterrupted.
Yes.
So for me, I know as a guy that doesn't directly correlate, but I want to feel like whoever I'm with is somebody who can be loyal to me. And
Got
I know
it.
it goes against the studies, but I don't want to go and be with a guy who's like, oh, I love to go to the strip club. Like, that's something I've always done.
Sure.
What if one day you start missing the strip club? Okay, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I want to be with somebody who is excited about being committed with one person.
Yes.
So I think this is like you're from Tennessee, right? I'm from Arkansas, and I think we kind of like grow up thinking this, because I was the same way. Like, I thought the same thing. I was like, I don't want a man that's been with everybody. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's the same thing.
I mean, I'm
but
not
then
expecting somebody to be like
kind
with nobody,
right?
But I don't want to be with somebody who's like, oh, I get
So that's
another
also
girl every other
Exactly.
night. They're always
There's
on
also
my
a
bed.
study that
But
shows
that's
that. Yeah.
nasty.
Then I've kind of
it's not a
realized and
competition.
learned
It shows
too.
immaturity.
Then I've kind of realized and learned too, the guys that the guys with the lower body counts are going to be the ones that are going to most likely are going to cheat quicker, and they're going to be the ones that want to go to the strip clubs, because they are not like what Michael says, they say calibrated.
They're not calibrated.
I mean, I think we're talking
Experience,
about
or, like, been around
high body counts and just like normal, and then there's
normal,
really
yeah,
low.
yeah, different.
So when I think high body
whore
counts,
and
I think
regular.
guys that are like, I have
That,
a
like,
different girl
every-
in my bed every night. It's not impressive.
Sure.
And it's not cute.
Okay,
like a
so
man whore.
Which, by the way, is one of the reasons why I put that as what I think it's Iron Rule of Tomasi number 2, which is never reveal your actual body count
Yeah.
to women, because
Yes.
too many guys. And thank you, Alex, from Playing with Fire. Here's your
Women
explanation.
do that
for it.
too.
Yes.
Well, no, it's
No
because,
one will ever know my
Well,
body
it's
count.
because guys lead
Ever.
when guys
Including me.
Do you
lead
guys
with
have
their
that
body
track?
count, and they want to use that as a qualifier for how like impressive they are and how you should
Yes.
find them. If that's
and why
your
you should
game,
and why you should buy their pickup
then it's
course.
a-
Yes.
Okay. big fucking problem.
Are you
Yeah,
guys
that's not
actually
impressive.
keeping track of your body count? Like,
No.
let's
Yes.
be fucking real.
100%. Yes.
Well, what she just
Fuck
said a minute
for.
ago is like she doesn't
Why?
want to be with
because
a guy
some girls
who's gonna
have
say
been with
stuff
fewer
like
than 5 dudes.
Well, she doesn't want to be with a guy. She doesn't want
I'm
to be
talking
with a
about
guy. It's not
you,
even so much the
Michael.
number, so much as it is like the idea that he's trying to impress you with his body count, because
How is
that's
that
what. Because well, I
don't think most guys-
guys who don't get
think
laid
about it like
think
a
it is
game.
impressive.
Yeah, that's not
Some
okay.
guys
well,
think
that's
about it
not
like a
them, but that's
game,
not
and they
impressive
try
to a
and make it
girl.
where, well, I'm better than this guy because I sleep with this and this
Yeah,
many
how
girls, and I
many-
have all these girls around me.
so
And
then-
that's
so
why
Michael said he kept track of his
And
body
that's the thing,
count.
it's
Do you
immature.
use that to impress other men, or do you
Of course
use
not.
it to
No,
impress women?
no one. No, of course. Rule number 6.
Oh, okay. So
MOA
do you
rule
tell
number
people
6.
Your body count.
MOA rule number
Did
6.
you just rule number 6?
Everybody
Yeah,
quiet.
Rule number 6.
Men of action.
Is this the Holy Bible that we're talking about? The fuck?
Mute everyone, Chase. Chase, mute them all.
The Constitution.
Mute them all, except me. Ready? One more time. Men of action. Rule number 6. Nobody needs to know how much money you make. Nobody needs to know who you're fucking, and you don't need to qualify to people. Yes, we don't tell people body count. Unmute them.
I want to also point out that when guys lead with their body count, what they're trying to do is manufacture pre-selection. So when they're saying, I've fucked 10 girls or whatever, and you get to the point where you're like, well, I don't want to be with a guy who's going to be disloyal, who's going to, like, it's not the game that you think it is, but the reason why guys who don't fuck want to lead with, whether they'll lie about it or not doesn't make any difference. Whether they're saying like I've had 10 chicks or I've had 20 chicks, the reason they're saying that is because they're trying to say 20 chicks found me acceptable enough and pre-selected me to fuck me, and so should you.
Well, that sounds stupid.
Go ahead, Kylie.
But
that's the mentality.
They don't even have to like go to the extent though, like of saying that. It's become more popular now to just imply it.
I've never
If you're
heard a guy
just
tell
like, it
me
is
how many
so
people he's slept
annoying.
with,
Nor
but
would I even imply to me.
yeah.
Hello.
Don't even just implying it to me that you're just.
Go ahead.
Like I'm around all these people all the time. Like, like I don't.
At that point, it's an
care.
insecurity. I've never asked somebody how
It
many
does
people
seem a
they
little
slept with.
weird.
Nobody's ever told me how many people they've slept with. But you
Starting
could kind of
question.
tell when guys kind of try and flaunt it like a peacock, right? And they try and use it to impress you. which I know we're saying, you know, some guys don't, but I've had the situation where guys try and use it as some way of getting you in their bed as well.
So it
and
goes back to,
it's
like, does
the
their
same
past
thing that I was
matter?
saying of why I usually don't date people my age, because people around the age of college age that's how they feel like they get that
it's an immaturity
status.
thing for men, I think.
Okay,
when they do
ready?
that.
The two studies that she was referring to first. The first one is Institute for Family Studies, which shows that when people get together in a marriage, it's like, I believe it's people who've been married for 10 years and how happy they are in a marriage, and they start at the age of, I believe, 28. The way it works is when men and women are both virgins, they're very happy. Their satisfaction is in the 75%. And as it goes down, the more men that women have had sex with before they were married, the lower their satisfaction in the marriage, till they get to 20 partners, and then it's 17%. For men, it drops off initially after they have one partner, and then it sort of flatlines. And actually, once they get above 11, it actually goes back up. Men are not more likely to be unhappy in a relationship because they've had a lot of sexual partners. Women tend to be more unhappy because women, because of the oxytocin, tend to imprint with their sexual partners more than men do. Men can be in love with a woman and enjoy having sex with a woman, and those be two completely different things, and be in love with a woman and have sex with a different woman, and that be a completely different experience. For women, they also can, but that tends to happen.
Cheat.
Yeah, of course, men cheat. Women cheat too.
That's why you're still satisfied. Women don't cheat.
13% of women cheat. 20% of men cheat.
Sure, but you guys are allowed to cheat. This is more.
So we're definitely not allowed to cheat.
It's more acceptable that yes. It's way more acceptable if a man
Mackenzie Bezos got $33 billion because Jeff cheated. No, we're not allowed to fucking cheat.
And he's making another big mistake.
You're more looked down upon as a woman if you cheat.
Yeah, for sure. That's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
This idea that we're allowed to cheat.
A woman who stays loyal in a marriage, of course, she's gonna be a little more unsatisfied. A man is definitely gonna do what the fuck he wants to do, and then come back, and we're just supposed to be like, oh, okay about it.
No, it's not that. We're just talking about the numbers. The numbers show that women are less
I'm talking
satisfied.
about reality.
Yeah, but the numbers show.
Let's talk about reality.
Well, this is reality. That's how studies work. Studies are studies of reality.
Studies are not reality.
They're closer
Studies
to.
are not
They're
reality.
closer. They're closer to reality than your.
Studies are not reality.
Okay, Lana, they're closer to reality than your anecdotal experience. Okay, so what happens is in the study, as we get above 20 sexual partners, women report having less satisfaction in a marriage. Men do not. So the second one that we were talking about was the 37 culture study, where they asked women, "Are you more interested in a man's body count?" They didn't use the word body count. Sexual partners, or are women more? Women more interested in man more interested in women's. The men were always more interested in the women's, and several women stated that if a guy was like in 25 or 30 and was still a virgin, that was weird. And these are amongst all cultures. So that's what she said. It could actually be too low for a man also. That's something that could happen where a man could be at 0 and he's like 29 and successful. You're like, maybe his penis got kicked off by a donkey or something. What's wrong with him? Exactly. So it's like even women recognize that higher status men should want to have sex with someone, and then that's okay. But if you're saying it's a double standard.
Women don't want a man to cheat, but they love a man who could cheat.
Correct. Yes.
They want a guy who's.
That's another way to say it. Yeah.
I'm going to read this real quick. This is our good friend Sterling Cooper, who's been on the show. Being good in the bedroom is the most honest signal of pre-selection there is. If you know your way around a woman's body better than she does, then she knows that you fuck. You don't have to reveal your body count. All you have to do is be good in fucking bed, because it means you learn something along the way. You don't have to telegraph it. You don't have to go beat anyone over the head with your body count. That's that's how you get into the situation that she was just talking about.
I'd rather have a guy with a high body count because he's experienced.
Yeah, but what if he could have a high body count and not be good in bed? I've heard stories
he's
about.
not good in bed. Yeah.
Yeah, like famous people who are just like they just try to get it over with really quickly.
What I was about to ask, like I feel like they're not like people who are just like, especially guys that, I don't know if it's just like they're naturally just better at this or something, but like they don't have a high body count.
You need to have some experience.
They don't have a high body count.
No, not high.
Or anything at all. Like it gets.
They're naturally good at it because women rewarded them with sex to the point where they figured it out quicker than most.
No, but that would be like a higher body count.
No. What if you're just with one woman? What if you're just with one or two women for a long time?
Let's take like a virgin guy.
Look at
a guy that has never had sex before, and then he like the first time he has sex, and it's not like it's you wouldn't be able to tell he'd never had sex before.
Yes, most of the time, yes.
Okay, so like.
Well, my experience talking to women, the first time they have sex with a guy who's a virgin, you can tell that he's terrible at sex. Yes, men get better at sex the more sex they have, but they could have sex with one. They could get married when they're young and have a lot of sex with their wife and get good at it. It doesn't mean a high body count.
We've been on this.
Okay,
we've asked this
there is sexual experience.
Or they can have sex with one woman.
That's right.
And then just know to satisfy that one woman. When they go to the next one, you're like boring.
That's what I think it should be.
That's
about.
what I
think that would be.
Well, most of
Some
the,
people
every time we've had women on the show,
like just because someone
Get
says
through
that
it.
you were good in bed doesn't mean you're actually good in bed. You were just good in bed to them.
every time we ask women on the show whether they would want to get with a guy who is a virgin or a guy who has like
Fuck
four
no.
or five past lovers.
That's like fucking
Waste
a
of
worm.
time, bro.
This is weird.
Hold on. Do you agree, Maya?
What?
For virgin or a guy who's been with like 5 girls?
Yeah, I'd go with the second one.
Okay.
Okay, so like I had a friend, she was fucking this dude, and then like later on, I fucked this dude. But she was always saying how terrible in bed he was, but he fucked me like really fucking good. So I was like, oh, okay.
Sometimes a guy's just more attracted to you.
Did he fuck you good or did you fuck him good, Rita?
I mean, it's a fucking.
Has this
it's
ever happened to any of you ladies where you fucked one of your homegirls ex guys and found out he turned out to be good at bed?
I don't homie hop in any sense. I don't fuck my dudes. I don't fuck my friends' friends. I don't fuck my girls.
Rita, I really want you to turn the fire hose on. You're like not giving it all away. This is like, Rita, I want the real Rita stories. These are not the real Rita stories.
So me and Rita, this is like my best friend right here. We'll be hanging out. We'll be talking, and she's like, "This bitch looked at me wrong the other day, and you know what? I'm gonna go fuck her dude. I'm gonna go fuck her dude." Or she'll be like, "This." We were literally out somewhere the other day, and this girl was like not happy that Rita was there, and Rita was like, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck her ex because that's just what we're gonna do. That's just what I'm gonna do now because she wanted to start shit with me."
Who's in
and
my
as
best friend's DM?
literally
at the same time.
we are at the place with this girl,
like,
and I'm like,
bitch.
Rita's just texting over there. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, texting her boyfriend. What do you mean you're texting? She's like, well, I gotta. Gotcha, bitch. She looked at me wrong.
She looked at me wrong.
Oh.
I'm texting a boyfriend.
I'm like, all right, great. So when are you gonna see him? She's like, oh, he's pulling up in 30 minutes.
Look at me
so.
with your
Hey, let's do super chats. We got to catch up. Go on. Glenn, Jace, sing us home. Piano Cat.
This shit funny to me.
Okay. All right, I got Michael's
style.
super chats here then. So we've got one from Chris C, $20 super chat. Ladies, why is a 35-year-old doctor more attractive than the 21-year-old pre-med honors student, considering that statistically, men have higher success rates when they partner early in life?
Because he's 21.
And the motherfucker got money if he's older.
No, it's a maturity level. It's literally the maturity level. I'm like, sometimes guys aren't that mature either at that age because I've met a lot of doctors that are fucking disgusting.
Fuck the young one, date the older one.
There it is. Hypergamy in a nutshell, gentlemen.
No,
See, this is hold on. Because she said that.
One's established,
Hold on.
one has potential.
Hold on, because she
Alex from Date Psych, listen right here. This is the information and the data and the research you need to be fucking doing. Okay, there you go.
So Destiny had the
So
whole
happy
thing.
to
I
help.
don't believe he said. Remember, we had the discussion. He said, "I don't believe in alpha fucks, beta bucks at all." And I was like, "No, I know for a fact that this does happen sometimes." And I literally was thinking of Rita when we were on Fresh and Fit. I was literally thinking of Rita, and Rita just said it out loud. So there we go. It's perfect. There we go. You can't say that it's not true, Destiny. There's your proof. Beautiful.
Yeah. Doing the real work. Wait, before you get to the next one, I gotta ask Maya. You have a 21-year-old med student. He's your age. He's going through life. He's got potential.
He wants to marry you.
Or you get the 35-year-old guy who's already he's a surgeon or he's whatever. He's established and he's done with and he's got a good amount of cash, but he's 35.
This is a hard one. I think 35 is a little too old for me.
Really?
I think 21.
You just broke his heart.
Damn.
I think 21 is definite. I would never date anybody my age. So
No, I'm just gonna find you a husband. That's all.
So I'd go with the.
I'm
the
really
second
excited.
One.
There's another country girl on this show with
Hell
me.
yeah!
I wanna see how.
I feel like if I was dating like somebody my age, I feel like I have to like baby them. Like I don't want to.
So when we talk about like people like we talk about
Just
high
call me
school
old. It's okay. You
relationships
can
and
say it.
stuff, and Rolo's
I'm
like,
good with
that's
it.
not a relationship, and that's fine, Rolo. But like,
But we're talking about
when
like,
we're like, I don't know
35,
if this
you're
is
gonna,
no, not that. Just like if this is just kind of like depends on where you're at. If you're in like a really big city or something, like I feel like they're just raised different. When we're like the people in the country in these smaller towns, like we literally grow up like marrying our like high school sweethearts
Or your cousin.
and like I literally see this or your cousin
Okay.
or your cousin
Which I was a little
and I see it
bigger
all the
than
time.
that.
And they're still like
Or
married.
a
They're
goat.
still they're happy with each other. They're still married. They have their kids, their family, and they'll die together. Like my grandparents got married got together, like started dating when they were 13, and literally died a month apart from each other, and had all their children. So
Apparently,
like,
the chat
like
all wants to marry Maya right now.
Is that like? Do you feel that way? Do you feel like it's kind of like that? Your like hometown. It's kind of the same like, way like that, and then we explore outside of our hometowns, and we're like, what is going on out here?
I just said that on my podcast not too long. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say I just said it on my podcast not too long ago that I'm like it does make a difference because sometimes you'll meet a guy that's like from the country, and he's like wants to stay loyal,
so
like they're so sweet, and then you see a guy from California that'll like get all these girls because he dresses cool or just because he has cool hair or like he makes music or some stupid bullshit.
Stupid
it's
bullshit.
Like, yeah, like that's so fucking.
Dumbass motherfuckers making music.
Hey, baby, that's the podcast that she hosts that I'm not cool enough to get on because I'm not popular enough. She's never asked me, because it's far, babe, because it's far away from me. It's far away from me.
I
It's in
never
Studio
thought
A.
he would want to be on my podcast because like considering your content, I am like a walking billboard of everything that people talk that these type of podcasts talk shit about.
We agree. We agree. I agree with you.
That would be perfect to have.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect
to have that.
Lana, we don't disagree with you. What we're doing is we're like everybody's. I'm 6 feet. I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1". Like I know that people who are 6'3" are taller than me, and people who are 5'11" are shorter than me. I just know where I am. Yeah. So the thing what we're trying to say is, for me as a man, I'm always being told by the world where I am. And sometimes for women, they get into this weird place. Oh, not just women, by the way. Movie stars, basketball players, fucking musicians. They live in this delusional world where they believe you have I know it's fucked up because we had Gemini Barbie on here, but you have like the privilege of believing in shit like astrology, or the 5 love languages, or Reiki, or stuff like that. That shit is not real, but you have the privilege to do so. Why? Because you don't work in astrophysics. You don't work in engineering.
Michael, you believe in God, yeah?
I do.
Exactly.
Through faith.
So then what?
Astrology is a religion. It's
not religion.
polygamy.
It's a belief.
Yes, it is.
So you believe in God is the same shit.
We should get you together with Gary the Numbers guy.
Paganism is
water out of wine. Wow.
All right, give us the next one, boys.
All right, we got $69 super chat. Mature women have unprotected sex, but not enough to handle what comes from it. Be selective. Do not whine about it afterwards. Know what comes.
Yeah, it's called get an abortion and shut the fuck up.
I'm a whore.
Moving on.
Wait. I have protected sex. I have had unprotected sex.
Okay.
But no.
Go.
The reason we have medical.
Brian from whatever podcast has like a special message from Lana, and we're gonna get it to you.
Oh shit.
Brian's gonna poach our girls now.
He likes you.
Hey, I need you to get way closer to the mic. We can hear you because you're in the same room, but you're not close to the mic. Yeah,
you need your own mic.
All right. Excel Self says $5 super chat. Excellent point. The women getting the juice don't know what they're getting a lot of. Our behaviors are genetics. They might be troublesome.
What the fuck? What?
So one of the problems? One of the problems is the guys type in there on their phone and they don't go through Grammarly, and it's like the English is not their first language. All you guys who are typing, you're paying us money. Go put your shit in Grammarly.
See,
and then
no. Here's what they're doing.
That people with money are not smart.
No, they're cheap. They're cheapskates.
You're paying money to fucking comment on this shit, and you can't use proper grammar,
No,
motherfucker.
it's worse. It's worse than that because they're cheapskates. Because they're probably like a $2 super chat, and you only get like so many characters. So like, let me abbreviate like the.
Room temperature.
All right, here's my $5
IQ.
super chat. If you can't make her like never before, you're a beta.
If you can't what?
Make her orgasm like ever before. But they
like
said
a
because it was a $1 super chat. And they were having
Crazy though, I've had a small dick like make me come so much harder than a big dick.
Hey, bitch, you better work it.
Like, oh my god, like little dicks be like, oh my god, man.
Of course you love a big dick, but like
big dicks are great. But big dicks that just
next.
I'm like, oh my god, you're fucking boring.
Give it to us, Chase.
So what we've got for the last super chat for Michael.
Play us out. Piano Cat.
From what the fuck is that name? Cellophable. It's a $2 super chat. This is when we were talking about threesomes. They said it's not gay. Men got to do what they got to do for the kitty.
Again, if you are in a position where you're desperate or you're like tolerating it, then yes, that's not gay.
Yeah.
But like men who like openly, hey, you know what I want to do today? I can't wait to see the mother of my children just getting like fucked by some other dude. There is something a little bit outside of the one standard deviation norm of that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing bad about it. It's just I just don't think it's heterosexual.
It's a little iffy.
Yes.
But what if it's not the mother of their children?
Someone they're in a relationship with, like you choosing to be like, again, Rita, the reason why we keep having this discussion and keep going back and forth is because you think
Every
that
fucking day.
because we talk. This is the only thing Rita and I
Swear
talk
to
about
God.
because you think me saying people are gay is me saying people are bad. I'm not saying they're
I'm not
bad.
saying
I'm just
that.
saying they're gay.
I just
There's a difference.
disagree that they're gay if they're fucking. If
But
two
there's
guys
nothing
are
wrong with being
fucking
gay. There's
one
nothing wrong with
girl-
being gay. But yes, I think it
I'm
is.
not saying there's anything wrong with being gay, but I'm not.
What
I'm
are you
saying
saying?
that they're not gay for fucking one girl at the same time.
Yeah, and the chat tends to extremely disagree with you. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Dump that bitch.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
They're all secretly gay.
All right.
And honestly, I have a theory that everyone's
Cat, go. What were you saying?
Most men are bisexual.
Most men are
They're just too
bisexual. They're just afraid to admit it. Is that what you think?
People like Michael will
Absolutely.
bully them until they come.
All right, so I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. Okay, so there's another great book. It's called Everyone Lies, Everybody Lies, and in the book they go over porn searches by state. And one of the things they go over is in the state of Vermont, 4% of people claim to be homosexual. In the state of Alabama, 4% of people or 2% of people claim to be homosexual. But when they look on porn sites, they find 4% in Alabama and 4% in Vermont. They actually find 4% almost everywhere because it's normally distributed. But if it's 4%, then that means it's not 100%. So I don't think 100% of men are gay. I don't think 10% of men are gay. I think it's extremely. It's like less than 1 in 10 of men are actually
Michael,
gay.
I didn't
How do
say
you
100%
like
of men are
remember
gay.
all of this
I don't
shit?
think we'll
Like you
ever
must
know
be like
because of what you
really
said.
like invested.
They're not going to come out.
No,
And
because
I'm
I
not
read.
talking about men
I
watching
read like
gay
60
porn.
books a year.
I said the majority of men are bi-curious. That does not mean that they're gay. That does not mean that they want
the
to
studies
get
I've read. Those studies I've read are like 11% of men are like
will
that.
never know.
Yeah.
Is that it, Chase? Are we good?
We never
That's
know.
all.
That's all. So, shall we do final thoughts?
Okay, ladies, is there anything that you want to say to the people in the chat or ask us
Do they
a
have anything
question?
to say to us?
Stop
They've been-
lying.
they've been saying-
Stop
Yeah.
fucking lying.
See if you like
Stop
it.
fucking
Okay, hold on. Stop.
lying.
Let's start.
Everybody's got
Go
an
with Cat.
asshole.
Hold on, Cat. Go ahead, Cat. What do you want to say to the audience?
Try jerking off to gay porn. See if you like
try
it.
it and see if you like it. Is that that's what you want guys to do? Yeah?
Or even throw a girl in there. It could just be one guy, two guys and one girl.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Yes.
haram. Okay,
Not
got
gonna
it.
lie though, when I'm watching porn and I'm like, I'm like flicking the bean, and then after I'm done and I'm watching the porn that I
don't like it no
came
more.
to, I'm disgusted in myself.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Post
Like-
that clarity.
It is nasty,
I was
right?
like,
Isn't it
oh my
nasty?
Oh my god.
Okay, so is there anything you want to say to the audience or ask any
Just
question you
stop
want to ask
lying.
us?
Just stop lying.
What are we lying about?
No,
Stop
just
the cap.
people need to stop lying. Like if you really just fucking tell the truth, tell the truth. It's an easier fucking life, bro. It's an easier fucking life.
Got it. Okay.
it.
Maya, is there anything you want to say to us or say to the
You
audience?
have 7 proposals of marriage right now
Yeah.
in the chat.
No?
Will
Will you do so? Will you screenshot all the marriage proposals
Yes.
tomorrow? Will you do that for us?
Okay.
And
Oh,
just
wait,
send
wait,
it.
wait. No, she said she has OnlyFans, right? So, like, I want you to compare your membership.
Yes, will you do that?
And
Yes.
OnlyFans, but before.
Will you
and
tell us
after the show?
your OnlyFans subscribers before the show and after the show, like 48 hours after the
We
show?
want to know what the bump is.
Okay, because there's a 48-hour bump.
Trust me, you will get the bump.
You'll get a
So
bump.
it's like the OnlyFans, like you in like wedding dresses, or
No, it's stuff from.
what the fuck is the deal here?
So hot.
Like
It's just
a variety
extra
of wedding
pictures from
dresses.
like the shoots that I do. Yeah.
Is it just like try on haul or what is it like? No, it's
No,
more than that.
it's
more
just
than
more
that.
pictures of like.
Wait, so
I don't know
she's
what I
still
go on shoots for.
she's still wife material even with
With an
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
Hey guys, ready
But
in the
you-
chat?
you
Time out.
only
Let's
can
ask.
agree with
Let's
that
ask the
OnlyFans.
question.
Let's ask.
Let's ask the
That's why
question.
I'm asking.
Guys in the chat, one if she's wife material, even though she has OnlyFans, and 2 if she's not. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Go
I
ahead,
think
Christina.
it depends on also what you're posting on there.
I've said that before too,
100%.
and they
she's
call
not
me a
doing-
simp.
she's not doing
I said
porn.
the same thing. They call me a simp.
So girls
Yeah,
post what
I
I
know.
post on my OnlyFans on their regular page.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but and they're fine because it's free because
Yeah.
it's on their regular page. But if somebody charges for it, they're a hoe.
Okay. There we go.
What the fuck's the point?
She wants money for her
But you could say
Instagram
the
shots.
same thing with sex because
Good
I'm
girl.
like, you know, people say if you charge for sex, then you're a hoe. But I'm like, but if you do it for free, what the fuck does that make you? A cheap
slut.
one?
It makes you a slut.
No, it makes you a cheap hoe.
There's whores, hoes,
It makes you a free hoe.
free ass.
Everybody's saying
Free bitch.
two.
Okay, ready? Let's go, Christina.
What's two again?
Christina, what it means that no wife material. Christina, go ahead. What do you think? Christina, what do you have? Do you have anything you want to say to the audience or say to us?
No.
Any questions? No. You have a good time?
Yeah.
Your overall experience was good.
Speechless.
We haven't had anybody.
I observe, I learn, and that's just me.
So we haven't had anybody say they don't want to come back except one, and she said she will come back eventually. But other than that, everybody's had a really good time.
Myron and Fresh aren't here.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are gonna be on my pod. You're gonna be on my podcast.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Okay,
Rita?
Rita, you have a lot to say. What do you want to say to these men? What can these men do to fix their shit to
Okay,
be
look.
more acceptable to you, Rita? What can they do?
Look, okay.
Fix
I have a
us.
theory, everybody is fucking gay, so just accept it. Like, if there's another dick in the room, stop freaking the fuck out. It's okay. You're gonna survive. Guess what year we're fucking in? 2023.
Boom.
Get over yourself.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
What do men need to do to be like more on Rita's level though? What should men improve?
Fuck their friends.
I mean, stop fucking caring about what other people think, and stop caring if you find another guy attractive or if there's another dick in the room. Like, why the fuck are you tripping, bro? Why are you fucking tripping? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, always like your like elderly fucking parents.
So basically, Rita, you're saying that these men just need to man up and just be gay. Is that what you're saying? They need to man up and be gay.
But like, don't act like it's gay. Like, if two men are fucking one woman, like, that's not fucking gay, dude. Like, come on.
Guilty.
Hey, Rita. So let's do the whole alley thing from whatever podcast. If a guy has sex with a trans woman, knowing that this trans woman was born a man, is that gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gay, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, awesome. That is so great that you
But
said.
Rita's already saying everybody's gay. So.
Yeah.
It is
Everybody's
bisexual.
fucking
Go
gay,
ahead.
to be honest.
Kylie?
Let's be fucking
My closing statement is
Everybody, quiet.
a man knows when another man's attractive.
There you go. Quiet.
Come on.
Go.
let's all get out of here and go watch Dead Mouse.
You got
That's my
it. Sound
closing-
good?
Let's get out of here and go see Dead Mouse. I've been waiting on it all night.
Hey.
I got ready to go see Dead
Real
Mouse.
quick, real quick. The guy that you started the relationship with, what city does he live in?
Crickets, bro.
It's not public.
Oh, it's not public? Okay. Do I know him?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay, cool. That's really, really interesting. Okay, cool.
FBI, open up!
There we go. There we go. Nice. You're coming with us tonight, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. All right. Beautiful. Hey, all right, guys, please do not come stalk us at Zook later on.
Please do.
Please do come stalk us at
Now that
Zook.
you
But you
told
won't
them
be
where
able
we're
to
all going to be.
Fuck.
Or dude.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say big ups to whoever that guy was in Smith's the other day who spotted me at Smith's and I'd say, "Hey, Rolo!" Like scared the shit out of me.
Aw, that's
Yes.
cute.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. All you guys, did we put up their social media? If you guys are looking for the social media accounts,
all their Instagrams is in the description.
we got to add Lana's to it
Yeah,
because
I will.
she joined us
Will do.
late. But you guys make sure you go and follow them. Get on there, send them dick pics. No, don't send them dick pics.
Send me dick pics.
Does anyone want dick pics? Raise your hand if
I
you
like
want dick
dick
pics.
pics.
Okay, Lana wants dick
I
pics, so
want dick pics.
send her
Only
those.
if you pay me to look
I
at
do
them.
not
Okay.
want dick pics.
Okay, I don't want them either.
I don't want Sterling Cooper either in my emails. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. Oh, someone's sending you Sterling Cooper dick pics.
They
Someone's sending you pictures of Sterling.
always try to send me links like fake links because I swore up and down I would never watch Sterling Cooper like his professional shit. And so people will try to trick me with links.
That's so great.
I'll print a picture of you.
No.
Guys, make sure for those
Frame it
of
on the
I'm
wall.
too
Old
good.
school.
I'm too good. Too fast.
One other thing, there is absolutely, positively
Net
no
nanny.
excuse for any of you to not to be in our free school server. Please message me on Instagram. I will put you in the free school server. In the free school server, you will see all of the schedules for every single one of these events that we do, all of the stuff that we do in Men of Action. You are going to see links to every single. Rule number one in MOA is fix your fucking Instagram. We will see 30 perfectly curated Instagrams. You're going to see the 30-book list, including all 5 of his books that are in the book list. And you're going to see the first 4 steps of Men of Action. We have a free course for everyone. You can join tonight. If you want to join, just message me on Instagram and I will give you access to the free Skool server. If you want to skip all that and you just want to fucking join Men of Action, go ahead and use the link.
On my link, which is
click Rolo's link.
Second one down.
Yeah, so click on Rolo's link, and then you guys can just step in and buy Men of Action. And Tristan, who's sitting right there, will take your call, and then we'll get you guys in here. And then when you join, I'm going to put my fist up like this, and I'm going to say, welcome to Fight Club, motherfucker. Welcome to Fight Club, motherfucker. Welcome to Fight Club. All right, guys, we will see you guys in 3 weeks.
Yeah, 29th.
The 29th, the night before the bikini competition, in the 29th. Make sure you check us out.
We'll see you.
All right. Did that seem like...
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Ugh.